Good shot, kid. I think you got him. Good shot, kid. I think you got him.
Speeding all around, the naked 47 got the power in his bound to move any mother that gets in my way. Just another power machine on the freeway. Riding with me is my MC homeboy, knowing the rules ain't part of his program. Finding the right way around this map might be pretty hard cause he's fucked on crack. G, Grand Theft Auto, you gotta make a mark and move where you want to. T, that determination to steal what you can and run from the nation. Hey, hey, what do you say? We automate a secret to speed from a getaway. Take it to the edge, there's nowhere to hide, and call up the boy. Let's go for the joyride. Let's go for a joyride. Stop the violence from the police, and what my dad used to say, but now he's deceased. He got caught in a jam, threw in the can when the cops were up and said he killed another man. Cheap knowledge was my main game, to figure out the law, to figure out the frame. Just when I thought I knew justice, I got on me said, you just been busted.
No!
I'll take out. I'll take out. I'll take out. I'll take out.
You suffered it. You suffered it. Yeah, you're gonna suffer.
And remember, respect is everything.
Soul making, sound shaking, earth quaking, change.
Grand Theft Auto, Cop Killer, Elvis has left the building. Wasted.
All right, everybody. Wow, this song is 12 minutes long, isn't it? It actually is 6 minutes long. Okay, let's get it started. Let's get it started. Look who it is. Let's get it started. Okay, transition. Got some new stuff today. Got a completely new setup for Twitch. Here we got, is this working? Yes, it is working. Epic. We got a layout with video games and a screen for those of you who have attention deficit dentedness, like me. Because most of the time when I'm streaming, I'm playing something on the side screen, so you now have the ability to see. And also there is the additional other layout that is different, that just has the thing. It's more minimalistic and modern. So anyways, this is going to be a hangout because it's so fucking hot outside. I got the fan pointed directly at me, and I still don't even feel it. I need to literally be like in front of it. So, what are we going to do? Let's see what we're going to do today. I want to start with some gaming shit, maybe. Last time I watched a lot of Peach Cobbler. And we watched a little bit of, who was that? Donkey. I want to see what Donkey's been up to. I haven't watched a Donkey video in like 16 million years. Video game Donkey? The Dunkster? Oh, he got a review of Killer Bean. Killer Bean mystifies me. It's a game that utterly and completely confuses me. Because this thing was popular, what, like 10 years ago? When the little short cartoon came out? And then they worked on a game for like, I don't know, 5 years probably? But yeah. Okay, let's do Forza Horizon 6 versus Samson. So at least you're going to find out what Samson is.
All right, I'm going to park my car. Today we're comparing two legendary titles, Forza Horizon 6 versus Grand Theft Auto 6. Well, actually Samson, which is a better game than Grand Theft Auto 6. Samson is an open world game that came out last month. Does it still hold up a month later versus Horizon?
I don't know why people are clowning on... Well, I get why people were clowning on Samson, because it was unfinished and very glitchy. And when you do that, you're going to get shit on. But also, it's like not a AAA game that is not hype at all. And no one really expected much of it. So I guess it's fine. And they're going to fix it eventually. They're going to make it run a little bit better. A little bit.
Now this is Forza. It's like a mix of Assassin's Creed Shadow with Ghost of Yotoi. Right now my objective is to explore Japan. I'm going to explore this part of Japan.
Oh, anyways, maybe we can do news first, because there's news, you guys. You guys love news. Let's get right into the news. Guess what? Guess what Xbox just did? They raised the price. They raised the price.
You suffered it.
Can't believe they did that. Well, I mean, I can believe they did that. But I can't believe they did that, what, a day after the Asha Sharma, the Sharminator, posted that gaming is becoming unaffordable. Which is like, that's fucking badass. That's kind of a power move. You tell your customer base, our business is becoming unaffordable. By the way, it now costs more money. Suffer. So let's see Yong Ye, Mr. Youngster. There you go. That's the first video he got. So let's have him explain to us what's going on. And then eventually he's going to yong out and everybody's going to be happy. It's going to be a happy ending.
It's historic.
Historic.
And I mean that in the worst possible way imaginable. The damage that artificial intelligence is doing to the world economy, especially where computing electronics is concerned, can really be felt now, and it's only gonna get worse. That's right. A third price increase has hit Xbox, and it's bad. It's really bad. Xbox is thoroughly, completely fucked at this rate, especially them being last in the console race and their current standing when it comes to hardware sales not being good, and just the platform as a whole.
Yeah, it's Yakuza. It's Yong Yakuza.
A lot of uphill battles.
He plays Yong Yakuza in the Like a Dragon.
To tackle
the English dub.
They can kind of start gaining momentum
American
against
dub.
Nintendo and PlayStation. So here it is, folks. Xbox's social media page posted the following updated Xbox console prices. This was literally posted like an hour ago as of the recording of this video. And here is what they had to say. Here's the blog post in question. Effective August 1st, which is like a little over a month from now, effective August 1st, 2026, we'll be updating prices worldwide. The price of Xbox consoles will increase by $100 for the 512 gigabyte models and a whopping $150 for the 1 terabyte models. We will also be sunsetting our 2 terabyte model. The prices for 2 terabyte SSDs has gotten so expensive that they cannot even
It does make
keep
business
the
sense to
2
produce
terabyte
them.
model up and running.
Wait, hold on. What? How much is the Series S increased? By $100? Oh, it's a blanket increase. It's not even by model. So the Series S is gonna go up by $100 for 512, and then by $150 for 1 terabyte. And the Series S is not even worth the price it had. It's no.
Also be sunsetting
break.
our 2 terabyte model. The prices for 2 terabyte SSDs has gotten so expensive that they cannot even afford to keep the 2 terabyte model up and running. This is something that they have to sunset because they probably can't find the components for it. And even if they did, the prices for the 2 terabyte models would be utterly ludicrous. And the bleak part is that Xbox is hinting that this is not going to be the last of it, citing how console storage and memory prices have increased by more than 2.5 times. And we expect another doubling by the fall of 2027.
That's the company is saying that. That's not even like speculation. They're just coming out and saying it. Yep, it's gonna get even worse, you guys. So I guess if you wanted to get an Xbox, you can get it now. Please get it now. I'm begging you, please get it now.
That over the course of the next year, we're going to continue to see price increases for computing components and for gaming hardware, such as Xboxes. And no doubt we'll see similar price increases for PlayStation, for Nintendo Switch, and like the Steam Machine, the Steam Deck. All those things will be afflicted by the continuous doubling of computing hardware and electronics. And you have artificial intelligence to thank for all of this. And the irony and
Here's a silver lining, though. Here's a silver lining. And it's all based in something bad, but I guess kind of a positive thing. These consoles have been out for a while. If you wanted to get one, you probably managed to save up money for it, and you invested in one of those things, and you have it. If you didn't manage to get one, then probably you don't really want it all that much, or you probably have a PC. Anyways, though, video games have been in a standstill for the last, 10 years? Where they've been making the same game 5 times, and every game takes 5 years plus to make. So the next gen consoles, they don't make sense existing at any point. They don't make sense having a PS6 or an Xbox Helix, whatever. So I'm kind of fine with not having a bunch of overpriced new consoles in the near future. That's pretty cool. Have I addressed the Angry Joe crash out? The Supergirl one? Dude, Angry Joe's so fucking cringe on this. Because, so this is, I'm retelling this from memory, from what I saw on Twitter. Supergirl, the movie came out, and apparently it was pretty bad. But Angry Joe said, go and watch it to support me, in a way, to be like, I like the movie, go watch it. But then he hadn't watched it, and he watched it, and he made a video about how it sucks. But then he got in a slap fight on Twitter with a bunch of dudes who said that it sucks. But, you get it? It's very stupid. It's very stupid. I hate it. I hate it.
The thing that makes this
Angry Joe,
less
man.
of an
You're
excuse
too old
for
for this.
Xbox is that it is a Microsoft subsidiary, and it is Microsoft itself who is among the biggest.
Yeah, he gotta eat his words now. Suffer, Joe. Suffer.
Biggest entities responsible for fucking over gaming.
Other Joe is
including
crying
Xbox
downstairs.
itself. It's literally the Eric Andre meme of him shooting the dude and going, how did this happen? Except in this case, it's Xbox shooting affordability and then going, what happened to affordability of gaming hardware? So what this effectively means is that the Xbox Series S 512 gigabyte version will go from $400 to $500. The Series S 1 terabyte version will go from $450.
$500 for a Series S, half a terabyte? That's a scam. That's a ripoff. Let me tell you something. At one point, I really wanted to play some of the Xbox games, you know, Forza and GTA 4, because you can't play that on PlayStation. And what happened was I bought an Xbox Series S, and I was so underwhelmed by the whole experience of having it that at some point I was dating a girl. She didn't have a smart TV, so I just gave her the Xbox, and I'm like, oh, hook it up. You can watch Netflix on it, YouTube and stuff, you know. And then we broke up, and I never bothered asking for the Xbox back. I was like, you know what? It's an Xbox Series S. We're not doing that.
To $600.
And before I gave it to her, I tried to sell it on Facebook Marketplace for like $200 less than what I got it for, and nobody wanted to buy it. Literally nobody wanted to buy it.
Then the Xbox Series X 1 terabyte version will go from $650 to a whopping $800 for the disk drive version. And the Series X 1 terabyte digital version will go from $600 to a whopping $750. If we take into account all of the price increases that happened throughout Xbox Series' history, what this means is that the flagship Xbox Series X disk drive model now costs $300 more than it did when the console launched back in 2020.
And let me tell you, those consoles, they have redeeming qualities. I'm not saying it's like the worst thing that ever existed. I did enjoy like playing Forza on an affordable console. And I did like playing like Splinter Cell. The backwards compatibility is pretty good. Like, I enjoyed it. It just wasn't, I don't know, it was overwhelming as a whole.
Originally, the Xbox Series X cost $500 for the disk drive version. Now it costs $800. You can see right here in this screenshot of an IGN article just what prices and MSRP was like when the
Also, Bungie laid off a bunch of people. We can watch a video about that later. The industry is headed for a complete and total collapse. I guess we can ironically say GTA 6 is gonna save the business, but I don't know. I don't know what they can do to save the business. They can't even save the FPS channel, dude. But yeah, it's going to be like it's gonna be terrible. And what sucks is because of a bunch of mouth-drooling dunces, video game executives, you get many people who actually have years of experience and qualities to contribute to the whole industry. Well, they got to go jobless now. They got to go on the job market. That is absolutely trash. So good luck with that. Is because of some guy that said, you know what? We should make an extraction shooter. We should make a battle royale. Put a battle royale in this game. No, scrap it. You've been working on this for 2 years? I don't care. Now make it into a farming simulator. Can you do that? And add a testicle expansion mechanics. Can we do that? Hair follicle regrowth mechanics. Can we do that? 16 times the graphics, please. Turn it up. Turn the slider up.
Xbox Series first launched, and it's just depressing to look at because it really accentuates just how much more expensive things have gotten. The Xbox Series S 512 gigabyte version started once upon a time at a price point of $300. Series S 1 terabyte once upon a time was $350. Series X digital was $550. Series X with the disk drive 1 terabyte was $500. And the 2 terabyte version of the Xbox Series X was once upon a time $600. And with the first price increase, we saw the MSRP for these consoles go up by anywhere from $80 to $100. And with the 2 terabyte version in particular, it went up by $130. This first price increase happened on May 1st of 2025. And then the second price increase happened on September 19th, 2025, or was announced on that day, and it took into effect on October 3rd. The second price increase saw these consoles go up by anywhere from $30 to $70 in price point. And then comes this third price increase that sees consoles go up by yet another $100 to $150. And I'll say again, it's expected that by fall of 2027, the price of computing components and electronics will double yet again, which means that we'll see those prices go up by like 5.
Now I got a sudden urge to go out and buy a bunch of compressed air in thermal paste and, I don't know, put my PlayStation in a safe or a safety deposit box or something. Because, man, if that shit breaks, I'm not going to bother buying another one. That shit is a scam at this point. Both PlayStation, Xbox is just ridiculous.
5 times from where they were before the AI RAM apocalypse began. So this is not the last of it. I suspect that at its peak, this RAM apocalypse will lead to Xbox Series consoles being worth more than double their original MSRP at launch by the time these price increases get that crazy. And Xbox in particular is in an especially precarious position because the Series X 1 terabyte version, which is now $800, is only $100 cheaper than the PS5 Pro 2 terabyte version, which comes in at $900. And for that extra $100, you get a console that has twice the SSD storage and is significantly
so much value.
more powerful. Now,
I mean, at this point, like, storage isn't even like an issue. You can delete games. Do people know you can delete games? I guess if your internet speed is pretty trash, you know how some of those games are. NBA 2K is like 130 gigabytes. Call of Duty is like 150 at least. And there you go. You're out of storage.
Series X 1 terabyte digital is $50 less than the one with the disk drive, but still, for $150 more, you still get a more powerful console.
Oh, think of all the value.
The SSD storage. The Xbox Series X 1 terabyte digital is competing more directly with the PlayStation 5 digital edition console, and that's a significant disparity in price point, with PS5 digital edition right now being $600, which is $150 cheaper than Xbox's 1 terabyte Series X equivalent. And then the Nintendo Switch 2 is sitting comfortably at its launch MSRP of $450, though that price will go up by $50 on September 1st, so the Switch 2 will be $500. That price increase is still, significant, but nowhere near what we're seeing with PlayStation and certainly, especially with Xbox. It has been widely reported that of the big 3 console makers, Xbox was the least prepared for the RAM apocalypse. They didn't have a good war chest of cheaper RAM before prices started going up, so Xbox is running out of the cheaper RAM more quickly than the other companies, which is why Xbox is being afflicted by price increases more significantly and more quickly than PlayStation. And
did Phil talk about this? I think he should have. His coverage is probably much better than this.
And Nintendo. And with
It's like, Xbox is fucking stupid.
Xbox,
They couldn't save up money to prepare for this crisis, and now they have to fucking eat it.
again, being last in the console race currently.
They scammed us. You guys, I'm about to expose the biggest scam of all time.
The most impacted by this, them seeing the most rapid rate of price increase.
I mean, that's
for
up
their
there.
hardware for their consoles. Xbox could not be in a worse position even if it tried. And then combine that with all of the negative PR recently regarding all of the layoffs that are about to happen, all of the studios that are about to get sold off or shut down. And I mean, the confidence.
Oh, he shit on Asha Sharma. He loved her.
Even with Asha,
he loved her. I don't think he loved her. I think he just hates Phil Spencer that much.
Sharma's leadership that has caused some optimism here and there, but generally the uphill battle that Xbox has to go through, that uphill climb, is so steep. And with these latest price increases, that battle has only gotten that much more difficult. It's hard to be optimistic that Xbox is in a position right now, especially with the current timing, to be able to make a comeback. And again, the irony of Microsoft fucking Xbox over with the degree to which they've pursued AI alongside the likes of OpenAI and Anthropic and NVIDIA, so on and so forth. The irony is real. Yeah, Xbox just cannot compete at this rate. And I fear for the price point that we'll see for Project Helix. I mean, the Steam machine already is at, like $1,050 for the 512 gigabyte version without a controller. And it's a machine whose specs nowhere near justify that level of a price point, especially compared to what we used to be able to get before the RAM apocalypse. Project Helix is going to be significantly more powerful than the Steam Machine.
Is this a real quote? She lost all her goodwill. Now she's an idiot. She's an idiot now.
Also means significantly more expensive.
I don't like her anymore. Maybe I should have just watched his coverage on this. Is the youngster going to talk about this for another 5 minutes when he doesn't have to? He's already done with the article.
Show eventually will be completely like phased out of like the affordability of these consoles, and gaming is just something that will no longer be as mainstream at this rate. Xbox is trying to mitigate some of the damage by introducing like payment plans and stuff like that, buy now, pay later, interest-free financing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, let's get an Xbox Series S on credit. Let's do that. Buy now, pay later.
The fact that we've even gotten to the stage where game
put everything on
consoles have to be
Klarna.
financed to this degree to be affordable really shows you where gaming prices are at right now. Really shows you just the sheer impact that AI has had in destroying the economic landscape of gaming. I'll keep you updated on further.
I think though the result this will have is that it's gonna make people people with weaker machines just go play indie games that are not demanding, and you can play them on a shitty laptop from 10 years ago. Like I bought a laptop with a 3050, I think. In 2019, I think. And then I added like a stick of 8 gigabytes of RAM, and now it's like it's all right. I can play like indie stuff. I can play friend slop games. I can play some basic bitch games if I want to, if I have to resort to that. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the next trend because games cost way too much to develop. They're way too demanding. They're way under optimized, and it's just not working out for anybody. And everybody suffer.
Developments. In the meantime, though, this is where we're at. This is the reality that we're facing, and that reality will get significantly worse over the course of the next year. So brace yourselves. And that, folks, is the news today, and these are my thoughts. I'd love to hear what your thoughts and opinions on all of this in the comments below. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time.
Young out.
Young out.
Yes, he said it. And it's called Young Yeah, finally. Because I didn't know what it was called. I've heard people call them like a million things. And here we got Steam Machine. We got the thumbnail says "fuck AI." About those Steam Machine prices. Fans of Halo are pissed. Why is that? It has double online DRM. Awesome. I love DRM. I love it. Have I ever found DSP in the wild while watching these videos? On stream, no. But I've noticed some before. I've added him to the playlist. So yeah. They happen. DSP is like, he's a living meme in the world of gaming. When somebody wants to make an example of somebody being stupid and trash, they say Darkside Phil. It's like, oh my god, you have to be Darkside Phil to like this game. This game is made for people like Darkside Phil. Thanks, Darkside Phil, for making all these games so stupid. So yeah. Now let's see Bungie layoffs. Who's going to cover that? Do we got Luke Stevens? Maybe we can binge some Luke Stevens today. He's okay, but he pads out his videos too much. Yo, we can watch Pissed Pablo. Yes, Pissed Pablo. Suffer Pablo.
How? How did you fuck this up so bad, Sony? Guys, breaking news. It has just been revealed that Bungie has been hit officially. Widespread layoffs. Destiny 2 ends. Marathon continues, and they are laying off half of their workforce, more than half. It says here, article from Paul Tassi just went up on Forbes, that they are laying off between 40 to 55% of the studio.
Are those his boyfriends? Low-key, that's his crew. And I like those guys. They're cool. Like, Other Joe is always, like, cheerful and fun. And Alex, I like his opinions on stuff, and he's not afraid to, like, go against the grain. But Angry Joe kind of hogs the spotlight a little bit too much, which I understand. Like, it's the Angry Joe channel. But still. Hey, big ups, what? An anonymous gifter? For the 5 gifted, dude. Big ups.
Legendary studio like Bungie.
Hell yeah.
How did you fuck this up, Sony? How? You've seen that Destiny 2
You guys love Pablo.
is way more popular.
But now they don't look so happy though. Other Joe is not looking great. And Alex, this is just the faces that Kat made when she was on stream. Not happy.
Than fucking Marathon. And honestly, it's not even Marathon's fault. Marathon should never have been put
in the forefront.
Right, as the thing to hold Bungie up. You should have been working on more Destiny 2, Destiny 3. Why would you spend $3.6 billion and then rely on live service alone?
He's so mad. But that's the thing. Even if he's fake mad, he is talented at making it entertaining. Like, I love watching him fucking scream and lose his shit. Especially over, like, what was that? NFL games. When the NFL, the Madden, when Madden gets announced.
Is a segment of a segment, and now hundreds of talented people and really good game developers are losing their fucking jobs.
Yeah.
Because the fucking suits and the higher-ups are greedy and incompetent fucks.
Yeah, Bungie used to have over 1,600 employees. There was layoffs down to about 1,300, then down to 800, and this will take them down to 400.
I am so tired of the higher-ups making such
But then you still need to develop games. You still need to invest a lot of manpower and man hours into those games. And with less employees, yeah, good luck. Is gonna be more difficult.
Bad decisions, and then it's the people who make our games
so
and the people who are
fucked
creative
up,
that get
man.
fucked up. They get golden parachutes
Yeah.
while you lose your job. And people tell me, "Oh, we don't need to look at this. We don't need to regulate. We don't need to have people, have job security. None of that. Just let corporations do what corporations do, which is just make money."
Has Joe been drinking? Because he's got that signature bloat plus a little bit of rosy cheeks here. You know, the nose is a little bit enhanced. I don't know. I mean, if I had to be Angry Joe and be angry all the time, I would have to be drinking. You would have to drink to be angry, or at least to stop being angry. It's kind of like the Hulk.
At the cost of everything
But
else.
with alcohol.
Even when they had record profits. Now, this has a $700 million impairment loss, but even when they're making record profits, they lay people off. They lay people off when they make losses. They lay people off when they have profits.
Because that's the thing. When they have record profits, companies think, okay, we're doing great, but we could do even better if we had less staff and we had to pay less salaries. That's awesome. Let's do that. And then they fire those people, and then they have record losses because they fired those people, and they're like, oh, we can't even employ the people we got now. Fire those guys. All of you get to suffer.
That's what a corporation
because greed.
do. Make money. They don't give a fuck about people, but it just blows me away how they don't have a project.
Yeah, but that's the thing. A business whose sole purpose is to make money is a bad business. Because first and foremost, you should release a product that people are engaged in enough that they're willing to consume, whether it's free or paid or a subscription model. It should be consumer friendly enough and high quality enough for them to be willing to buy. And then you're going to make profits. And then you're going to become a corporation, a successful business.
And Paul Tazzi confirmed this behind the scenes. There's no Project Green lit behind the scenes to make up for this. That's why they're getting rid of people, because they know Marathon can't fucking... Marathon makes $20 a day on their stupid fucking purple skins and knife skins. It's not going to fucking hold up Bungie. So here's the fucking statement. With great sadness, we are announcing a reduction in a force as we reorganize Bungie. As the leaders of Bungie, that you fucked it. Past and present, we recognize Destiny 2 fell short of expectations. Bro, what? What? It was one of the most popular FPS MMOs. How long did you think Destiny 2 was going to last?
He's so mad.
Years?
I mean, it's not like I'm shocked that I clicked on an Angry Joe video and he's angry and he's Joe. But still, it's nice to see some actual good salt.
I don't understand this, Joe. Now you're blaming Destiny.
And he looks at Joe. He's like, Joe, explain to me. Make it make sense, other Joe.
2 fans, fuck you. we recognize that Destiny 2 fell short. Following our final content update to Destiny 2, and with our future projects still in early incubation,
They got shit.
ain't got shit, man. You fucking lying.
Yeah, they
We
got some concepts.
unfortunately could not continue operating at our previous size.
They got an idea.
We
Hey,
know-
maybe we can milk this franchise. Hey, I have an idea of a franchise we can milk. It's like Call of Duty, but cooler
Oh,
and more
this
expensive to
decision has
make.
a profound impact on the people.
Let's
affected,
go.
Their families, friends, and teammates. Then why?
Bro, you don't
motherfucker-
care about
what's this
that.
guy's name? I don't remember his name. Why does he get the golden parachute? While these changes are necessary to best position the studio now and for the future, that doesn't lessen the difficulty of this moment or the impact it has on those affected. Later, we will share more about that future with you all today, but today is not that day. Today, everybody needs to be sad for the people we're laying off. Well, we make hand over
Reorganize for the
fist
fucking top.
money.
That's what you need to do.
Later, we
Money.
will share more. No, I already said that. Fucking today, we wish to extend our gratitude and compassion to every member of the Bungie team who has been impacted, and those who remain. We hope you will do the same. They're trying to, have some semblance of, to try to be somber about the moment, try to be consolatory, because, I mean, when they previously laid people off, I don't remember if this is Sony or if it was EA, it was just basically, bye.
An
And they-
email.
yeah, exactly. It was more insulting than that. But
Oracle
this
was the
doesn't
worst.
help.
It's
Jason-
so fucked up because he's like, all right, well, hey, sorry for my mistake, but we have to let you go. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah,
I'm
it's,
sorry.
it's near criminal mismanagement.
It
Now,
is.
Jason Schreier has confirmed that it's the majority of the Destiny team, much of the Marathon team, and a lot of SIE team.
It's even the Marathon team, so I'm getting fucked too. I like
And it's kind of I'm kind of surprised at this point that they don't have a fall guy, like some fall guy executive, to just say, you guys, we're gonna take accountability as a company. It's this guy's fault. It's Phil Spencer's fault. Kill him. We're gonna kill him. And then you get some goodwill from the gamers, I guess. It's not that it would work a lot, but it's better than making this statement and then giving somebody like a $5 million raise.
Marathon, and I know there's a lot of Destiny players about to be like, it's all your fault. It's all Destiny. Marathon's fault. It's not Marathon's fault. It should have never been in this position.
No, it's mismanagement. If the fact that they didn't have another product, they thought that Marathon was. I don't think they ever even thought that Marathon
Right.
was going to carry Bungie.
Billions of dollars.
They just stopped making good Destiny 2 content. They were deleting old content. They made bad decision after bad decision. And instead of lining up a new thing that would carry the company, they did nothing. And I don't know. I can't wait to see, like, if it was worth it had 1,600 employees and it was worth almost $4 billion, and they had a big game, and now they don't have a big game, they only have a tiny game, and they only have 400 employees. What's the next impairment loss going to be?
Yeah,
$2 billion? Like, Bungie can't be worth $3 billion right now. It's got to be worth not even $1 billion.
It blows me away.
Fucking crazy.
It blows
It's
me
not even
away.
worth $5. I wouldn't even buy it for
Best
$1.
place in hell.
I wouldn't even get a free trial to buying it.
Herman Holst guy. Look at this letter. Okay. So hold on. There's an internal letter. Apparently, I got a hold of the internal letter that is an update for employees and SIE Communications. Here's the internal email. Dear team, I wanted to share a difficult update regarding Bungie. We have made the decision to reduce its workforce, a significant number of employees,
400.
including most of the Destiny team and some Marathon team members, even some Marathon team members. There's reductions across SIE
Sony
teams that
Entertainment.
support Bungie's operations. Those impacted at Bungie and within are being informed today. Painful news, especially for talented colleagues whose roles have been eliminated. Then why did you think of this before? How can there not be something in production? How can there not be Destiny? How can there not be a new radical expansion for Destiny 2 or the next Halo?
Maybe they did, though. Maybe they did, and it was canceled. Or they realized it was a terrible idea that would make them money. Or a similar game came out and was a massive flop. Imagine they had something working like Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Something compared to that. Similar to that. And then that game came out, and they were like, whoa, this is a disaster. I guess people don't like games like this. Abort, kill it.
I don't get it.
Terrible management.
You want,
get
I
it?
mean, that's what video game companies do. They make video games. There's no way that you thought that Marathon was going to be the next fucking.
Yeah, maybe they had a Concord like a hero shooter, and then Concord comes out, and then what was that thing? High Guard comes out, and they're like, dude, no one likes this. This is gonna be a massive flop. So let's cut our losses. Let's get rid of it. And there you go.
Destiny. And if you did, it just feels like these people, I don't know, in charge of Bungie pumped the fucking numbers up and made themselves so attracted to Bungie or Sony, knowing I'm getting the fuck out. I'm getting my money.
Yeah, they got $3.6
I'm
billion.
getting my bag.
Weren't they like close
They were
to
close to closing down,
They were
and then they
closing
tricked
down.
Sony. It's got to be like the best sales job in the
Yes.
history of business. It's like my company's
Best
worth $4
con
billion,
artist.
and it's worth very little.
Yeah.
Where are these people going to go? So, and then this decision was made only after extensive discussion and careful consideration. I want to provide some context on how we arrived here. Oh, well, thank you. Over the past several months, together with Bungie leadership, we reviewed the studio's long-term direction. That would be including games, development priorities, research needs, and roles within our broader portfolio strategy. We explored multiple alternatives before concluding that a reduction was necessary. Then why'd you buy the studio? You bought the studio to close it down?
Because it had a bunch of expensive stuff, but now it doesn't. Because it sucks now.
I thought
'Cause they fucked it up.
They
Yeah,
said,
what's
look,
doing
I
now?
love Bungie. and
Okay,
we
I think
want our
that's
own."
it. I think that's it. Let's see some other breaking news from the Angry Joe show, because he has great coverage usually. Well, you know, I'm kind of joking. Yeah, this is the Supergirl review. That was very positive. So here we got Supergirl box office bomb, Steam PC prices, GTA 6 pre-orders. But this is like from 3 days ago. This is already outdated. That's why I don't like those videos, the news videos that come out like a week after the news happened. What do we got here? The Furious. This movie kicks ass. Where was the video where he said you should go and watch Supergirl? Was it this one?
Okay.
Because he's a maniac for Superman for some reason. I guess his favorite superhero, but he goes overboard on it a little bit to the point where he kind of is a sycophant. There we go. It's a flawed mess. There you go. Stuff for Phil. Stuff for Joe. Stuff for Alex. Where was the one? Whatever. It was probably like a million years ago. There's the Last Light review. First Light review. Last Light was a Metro thing. Got playlists. Let's do stuff reviews. And now we need to find angry reviews because he's done so many things. Angry rants. Movie reviews. Angry reviews. There it is. Amazing. Atom Fall. Claire Obscure. Is that the most recent ones? Joe, what are you doing? Claire Obscura is the most recent? It's not. It can't be. But this playlist is fucked up. We got Dragon Age the Veilguard. Oh, he's going to be very angry in this one.
Well, it's finally done. Thank you for your patience, guys. This one really hurt me mentally and physically. I did not want to play this. I didn't want to finish it. And we got it through. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you to our sponsors, G Fuel, for definitely
G
through
Fuel.
this game. The links down below for a percent.
I've never had
off
G Fuel,
discount
but
over the holidays.
Keemstar says it's great.
It directly supports the show. If you like this video, do it. It helps us out. And, yeah, this one hurt me because I'm a fan of Dragon Age, and this is what we got. So, an explanation for everything coming up. I'm sure it'll piss off some people, but this is just my hard, brutal, honest opinion. Check it out.
This is gonna be impossible!
I don't know what we're gonna do, Rook.
Okay, yeah, I'm not watching these kids. I'm definitely not watching
Hey,
these
guys,
kids.
thank you for your patience.
Or
on
the review.
Claire
I mean, it's Dragon Age the Veilguard. It's absolute fucking abysmal dog shit. For some reason, though, some of those reviews, I didn't see them in the playlist, so we got the Fable, Angry Gameplay Reaction, 007. I don't even know if that game is worth like a full-fledged angry review. I guess it's just all right. I guess it's just all right. Scary movie review? Oh my god, that one. Oh, that I watched the trailer for that scary movie and it looked terrible. It looked legit like maybe it would have been funny 15 years ago if I was 12. And now just no. Just nostalgia baiting. Marathon Season 2 launch disaster? Well, I guess it's Angry Joe's fault. They laid off all those people because he made a video about it. He said it was epic fail. $20 for Pink? What? Brand new Witcher 3 expansion. Yeah, that's pretty exciting. It is pretty fun and nice and robust. What was I going to watch? Oh, yeah, we're going to watch fucking Donkey. I don't even know how I got to Angry Joe.
Okay, I haven't unlocked that part of Japan. Okay, I have to race against a rocket ship now.
What a day. We've seen wristbands, legends, rockets, and
we've seen aliens. We've seen massive scale battles. We've seen eggs. Horizon 6.
How did the dialogue got worse from Forza 5 to 6? How did that even happen?
You know, iconic characters like
those games always had terrible dialogue, but this is like, I'm turning this off right now.
They named the whole game after him. You play as Samson. Everybody's always saying his name, Samson.
Samson. Oh, it's Samson.
How about street racing at night in Tokyo City?
No, what if we could race on a racetrack during daytime?
And if that wasn't enough?
No.
I have one word for you.
Mater.
Hey mate, this is great, thanks.
Which Pokemon do I want to start with? The GMC, the Toyota, or the Nissan?
The Toyota Celica ST205.
This is basically the Charmander equivalent. The game is called Forza because you're racing other racers to win pizza. I love pepperoni, I love sausage.
Watch the oncoming traffic!
Oh, I found the oncoming traffic.
Shit. Oh, not good.
Oopsie.
We have a new route here, ready for testing. We need you to make sure it's fun.
I lost. It's not fun. It's fun. It's fun. I'm in first place. It's fun.
Hey, give up. Big ups, Mr. Extravagant, for the 5 gifted, dude.
It's a little less fun now than I'm in second. I can't believe they're having me go up against a Horizon.
Hell yeah, dude.
In the very first race. Oh, that was bad. That's bad driving. I bring this back. Don't worry, I bring this back. Come on. Oh, that was nice. That was a nice turn. Go, go, go. Oh, that was nice. That was pretty nice. Except when I hit the wall.
Big ups, Infamous KS, for the 5 gifted. This stream can't be that fun to be worth all these subs. We need to do something more fun. I guess you guys just love Angry Joe that much. Let's see. I had a list of stuff to watch somewhere, but I forgot where it was. So we're going to pretend like we don't know. Oh, we're going to watch this. More Starfield.
This video is sponsored.
More Starfield. So this, I watched a little bit of this video. It's essentially, which I should also put on a list somewhere. Should write this down. Hold on. Who was that guy? Internet Historian. I love his stuff. We should watch some of those. So this is essentially like an Internet Historian video on Starfield. And it's also glitched. So we need to wait for it to work again.
This video is sponsored
there we go.
by Opera GX.
Hell yeah, the gaming browser for gamers who are gaming all the time.
2023, and for Bethesda Game Studios, it's the final sprint. The culmination of hundreds of millions of dollars and a quarter century of work. And for hundreds of people, almost a decade of full-scale production is about to materialize. Starfield is releasing on the 6th of September, and Todd Howard's magnum opus will be upon us. In 2018, Fallout 76 reviews have come in, and they're not too hot. Fallout 4 is a few years before, not amazing either. Todd's once perfectly polished image is now getting torn to shreds. The people, they're like wild animals. But he remains unfazed. When they see this next project, everything will change.
Oh, I remember the reveal video during, I think it was like Summer Game Fest or whatever. It was during the summer. It was July somewhere, and they released like a preview and showed all the things you can do. And some developers were talking about it. One of them was like, "Yeah, I can make my ship look like a hot dog."
Todd
So much fun.
Dream game, something he'd wanted to make since he was a kid.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Bethesda had
this
waited patiently
falling for this
to arrive to make it, and now was the time. By this point, Todd has also amassed an army of around 500 people. They span multiple countries and 4 whole studios. The manpower here, sizable, and they're going in big. Voiced protagonists, something they'd spent a ton of time and money on, and turned out to be one of the biggest complaints of their last mainline game. Let's bring it back. And at the start of Starfield's development, Bethesda's design lead and head writer Emil Paliarulo goes on to cast voice actors and record lines. He's even weighing having multiple voice actors this time round. However, early on in development, higher-ups come to a realization. Bethesda had been taking an unrelenting stream of L's for a few years now. Starfield, well, it should probably deliver. So they decide on a change of pace, and to actually take in some fan feedback. And the voiced protagonist thing is scrapped entirely. The game engine too. Historic.
Oh yeah, dude, this stole that shit emote.
Bit of kit.
I wanted to make that, but I wanted to make it animated, so I haven't got around to making it yet.
As it is.
Otherwise, if it would be like a PNG, it would be too quick.
For almost a decade. So they get working on that too.
I'll make it one of these days.
RPG elements? Well, they're actually adding some here. Behind the scenes, things are looking good. 2021. 5 years of
a voice protagonist in a Bethesda game wouldn't be easy to pull off on a technical level, because you know you got like branching paths for some of the quests. You got a shit ton of side quests that you also need to voice like all the dialogue for. It just like doesn't make sense kind of at all.
And the game is beginning to take shape. Bethesda,
even though like Baldur's Gate 3 had that, I think you could make like a voice protagonist would fully voiced and would have all the voice lines that would have when you talk to people, and that was like a shit ton of dialogue in that game.
Parent company ZeniMax has also just been bought out by Microsoft, and money is now no object. Microsoft wants a system seller, and Todd's only job is to deliver one. They have all the resources they could possibly want. And on the 13th of June, Todd marches on stage, and we get our first look.
Yeah, what's up, dude? Yeah, for real, Baldur's Gate 3 has insane amounts of voice lines. And considering so many quests you can just not do at all, or not even know they exist.
Their first new IP in 25 years. The ultimate Bethesda game, Todd says. And after years of groveling for a new engine, we get our wish. The Creation Engine 2. Okay, people aren't massively thrilled, but this is groundbreaking stuff.
Well, it's more like the Creation Engine 1.5.
And there it is. One of Todd's crazy dates again. May 22nd, 2022. Around 7 months out from launch, and that's out the window. Because the game's delayed. Come back in early 2023. The disappointment is palpable. But in June, Todd's on stage again. And we hear some familiar lines.
Our most ambitious game ever, where you get to be who you want and go where you want.
Not again. But then, we get a glimpse at the actual gameplay for the first time. Deep crafting systems. Weapons.
Oh, very deep.
Buildable outposts. Even your own spaceships. Wait, we can even fly them? Land and explore anywhere? Over 100 systems? Over 1,000 planets. My god. Also, were those background options and traits in a Bethesda game? A silent protagonist?
Well, technically yes, but they're not great.
Listening? Starfield was going to be an actual RPG, a true return to form. The reveal doesn't come without concerns, however. The performance, it doesn't look great. In fact, you can see the game barely holding it together at parts. The gunplay and dogfighting look a bit stiff, and 1,000 planets. Either another sweet lie, or this game sounds very procedural. Todd hears the concerns. Don't worry. Starfield has more handcrafted content than ever before. More than Skyrim and Fallout 4 combined, he assures us. He doesn't give any solid figures though. For some reason, Todd says he's stopped giving out numbers.
16 times.
It's now March 2023. The game should be releasing in just a few months. But no. Game's delayed again. Come back in September 2023. Summer 2023. Todd returns to the stage again.
Dude, imagine if they released it at the first release date. What that would have been. That would be 16 times the disaster Cyberpunk was. 16 times, minimum. If they had to delay it 2 more times, and it was still Starfield at launch, it had technical issues on everything. It still has technical issues. I mean, it's a Bethesda game, essentially. That's kind of the charm of their games, is that they're broken as fuck.
And this time, he's brought almost an hour of gameplay with him. The game looks a lot more polished. We also hear some more familiar lines.
But I'm cool with delays. I'm fine with delays as long as you actually have confidence in being able to pull off the thing successfully.
The moon is actually there orbiting the planet. Yes, you can visit it too. That mountain is not just a backdrop. You can walk all the way to the top of that mountain.
September 6th is now about 3 months away, so Todd and the boys put on some fresh kicks. It's time for some interviews. Washington Post, GQ, Esquire. The man is everywhere. Todd's like a playboy. The marketing machine is now in full frenzy, and lots of totally normal articles are being released.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah, what was that?
And lots of totally normal.
How Bethesda's NASA Punk Epic became the biggest Xbox game in a decade?
Articles
Ooh.
being released.
What the hell is even that?
He's Christopher Nolan. Todd.
What? Todd Howard is the video game industry's Christopher Nolan, pushing the boundaries of the medium from Elder Scrolls to Fallout, but nothing compares to Starfield. In a rare, in-depth interview, Howard opens up about the game he's waited for his entire life. Wow.
Todd Howard is to games.
The Christopher Nolan.
Is to cinema.
What?
He suggest this theory to him. Slight, boyishly handsome, sharp-jawed, and...
No, get him out of here. What a fucking scam article.
Classical antiquity. He's become a semi-mythical figure to gamers. Now 52 years old, the only real sign of him being flesh and bone are some faint bags under his sea blue eyes. He's reserved, but not at all shy. Talkative, but never all that forthcoming. Okay. He even posts on Reddit.
Because the thing with Nolan, why this is an absurd comparison. If you watched Tenet, if you watched Interstellar, if you watched Inception, you would know that Nolan has a vision for how he wants his movies made. Sometimes they end up being kind of nonsensical, and sometimes they're convoluted and a little bit contrived, but he has a vision. And that vision is fleshed out in interesting to actually give it a shot and sit down and watch the movie. And then you have Todd Howard.
Fans are increasingly excited.
Who has an idea of a vision.
It's like Todd's doing a victory lap here. Whatever they've cooked up over in Maryland, it's good. Turns out, they've had just about every QA person at Xbox on it, and they're saying it's the least buggy game in Bethesda's history. 500 developers.
The least buggy game.
Almost a decade in development.
Could have said the most polished, not the least buggy.
This is Microsoft's new system seller. Emil says it's the best game they've ever made. Todd even compares it to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Probably has more of a feeling of like a Red Dead 2, right? Like I'm living
in what
Western
sense?
fantasy.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
Other developers are trembling in fear at the release date, and games like Baldur's Gate 3 have shifted theirs back by more than a month just to avoid crossing paths. The masters of the RPG had checked out for a while, but on September 6th, Daddy's coming home. Before that, do you browse the internet? And are you using Insert Generic Internet Browser here? The grey colour scheme. Generic corporate design. My god. Opera GX makes browsing online fun. The perks are numerous. Trying to watch a video uninterrupted, or mid-fight and sick of intrusions? How about complete uninterruption? Because Opera GX is equipped with formidable ad blocking technology.
I'm equipped with formidable skip technology.
And added privacy and cross-continental per keyboard and own. View good for with rage. And people jump into Bethesda's first new IP in 25 years. At first, Starfield is met with rave reviews.
Oh yeah, Del Toro could make a pretty sick game, or be in the George R.R. Martin capacity, in the one that he had on Elden Ring, to like have the world building set up and the fantasy elements, because Del Toro is a very creative guy when it comes to like fantasy stuff.
And a ton of 10 out of 10s coming in. It's amazing. A near perfect space game. But a few hours in, and some time to reflect, and opinions slowly begin to change. The performance. On PC, there's a bit of chop.
Why did you not optimize this game for PC?
We did. It's running great. It is a next-gen PC game.
I love this clip.
Push the technology, so you may.
Why does this game run like shit? It doesn't. Shut up. It runs great, actually.
The game requires an SSD to run, and yet, space.
But I think this question was poorly asked. He just kind of directly shot it out when it should have been set up. You should have said, well, there have been reports by many gamers and many other reviews that the game has been poorly optimized on PC. Well, what do you think about that, Todd Howard? Because that was the case. Like, people were complaining about awful stuttering. I think there was a point where you needed to kind of mess with the in-game files, with some of the configuration files to get some options to appear and stuff. Just actual, like, really terrible job by Bethesda. And that's for real.
It's choppy.
We might.
It happened. I was there.
We could fucking handle chop, right? I mean, it's a $3,000 PC.
No, we're not going anywhere unless he says it's safe. All right?
Don't worry about the chop. You don't know shit about chop.
Oh, really? And you do? You're a fucking expert on
I'll chop your fucking credit card in half. How about that?
Even on NASA tier PCs, low FPS and massive frame drops. Also, AMD sponsored the game.
Oh, there was one particular gun. I think it was an SMG that, because of the way that it was programmed into the game, every time you start firing it, like automatic firing, it would start stuttering the game. That was incredible. Incredible. Like, how do you even do that? It was so awesome.
Conveniently, Intel and NVIDIA.
And I think this also happened in Fallout. Every time you throw a grenade or like a Molotov, something that explodes big, it just crashes the frame rate. It tanks it.
Parts are specifically struggling.
Signature Bethesda touch.
NVIDIA DLSS in the game. Something that modders are able to patch in within hours. On Xbox, things are a bit more consistent, but even then, Todd's chained us down to just 30 FPS. Even on the $500 Series X. That 30 FPS is also the target FPS. That's what it's aiming for, and not always what it's hitting. Walk into a city like New Atlantis, and that number dribbles down to the low 20s.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
This is on a AAA game, on a barely 3-year-old console, in the year 2023, when most other big games can run at 120 FPS. The head of Xbox says it's a creative decision. So far, the console Metacritic is just about hanging on, but for PC, it's bombs away. Spared the horrific performance and actually managed to run the game? Well, there is some good stuff here. For the first time in a modern Bethesda game, physics are no longer tied to frame rate. You can now uncap it without causing horrific issues with jump height,
yes,
enemies, and objects.
Generational progression in technology.
The gun mods are pretty good. There's some RPG elements here, and for a Bethesda game, a relatively bug-free launch. Far less game-breaking issues and corrupt save files. They'd even cracked ladders. That's the good. And then there's everything else. Starfield was conceived 25 years ago, trademarked a decade ago, and started full development 8.
Well, what is conceived 25 years ago? What does that mean? He came up with the idea? I want to have RPG in space, where you can fly around and do space stuff that you would do if you had an RPG like that. Like, because it's not really that much of a fleshed out idea. I would understand conceiving Death Stranding 20 years ago, because that's kind of an original, interesting type of idea, especially with the whole lore surrounding the world. But Starfield, like, what about it is that special and interesting and original?
And the final game had come out the other side, severely lacking.
It's an embarrassment.
In a lot of ways, it's one of their most bare bones games yet. Incredibly basic things are just missing. The FOV slider. Fallout 76 had one. Fallout 4 had one. A simple text file change in the game
Yeah, this is the one.
allows Starfield
Yeah.
to have one. So why wasn't it in the game?
You could have just
There's
put
no
it in the
ultra-wide
game.
monitor support.
No, I'm not trying to do a no crash. I just play GTA a lot, so I'm decent at the driving, and I really like it.
No HDR
But
on
this is the best I can do while also pausing and looking at chat.
save files. There's also no
Not a
brightness,
professional streamer.
contrast, or gamma sliders of any kind. This is on a game that looks horrifically washed out. Dodgy TV or monitor? Unlucky, son. This is what your game looks like. An in-game calendar? Nope. Your start date is May the 7th, 2330. So if you want to know what day it is, you'll just have to keep track yourself. There was a calendar in Elder Scrolls Arena back in 1994. There's also no in-game map. Again, Arena had this in 1994. Simply no longer possible. Technological marvels lost to the sands of time. And despite multiple delays and intense QA testing, the game still quite buggy.
You can do pretty much anything.
Oh, dude, I hate DSP's GTA driving. Because to me, it's always been, you drive like you would in real life, but crazier and faster. It's not like the way that he does it, where you drive in the opposite lane and then you just hit somebody, and it just doesn't make sense. But I guess he's doing it to get to the objective as quickly as possible, but when you're trying to do it as quickly as possible, you get super sloppy, and then you just crash into stuff, and that slows you down. So it's not that great.
Exploring every inch of a mostly untouched galaxy.
That's not true, by the way. It's not mostly untouched. Pretty much every planet you land on has some sort of an outpost or infrastructure built on it, unless it's like a completely useless moon that nothing exists on. So the whole idea of exploring a galaxy where you don't know what you're going to find, and it's going to be like, ooh, the sense of adventure and exploration is just gone, because somebody's been there.
Or differently in this game.
We want you to feel hopeful. We want you to feel this sense of awe and wonder. And sometimes a little fear.
May I see your credentials, please?
Now, it would take probably 4, 5, 6 loading screens to get to my ship from the top of Neon. The amount of loading screens is disgusting.
Spaceflight should be exciting and dangerous.
We always put so much care into all those little details that breathe life into our worlds.
Yeah, you can't knock stuff around.
Our biggest goal for lighting was to make the game feel more filmy, to use lighting and color to really make it feel more
iconic.
cinematic.
Really like to change my ship right now. That'd be great. It's too bad that the NPC is up there.
Outside of the game itself, Starfield launched with a $300 collector's edition. This included a patch, some art, and a box. But centerpiece, an electronic watch. And turns out, a ton of these are already breaking. Alright, pretty poor effort, but none of that matters. Modders patch most of it in a matter of days. What does matter is the actual game, and Todd and the boys had somehow created entire star systems to explore here. And turns out, he wasn't lying. There actually are over 1,000 planets.
Sure.
Spaceships, space flight, all in a Bethesda game with
Yes,
the same
technically they exist. Technically, there are over 1,000 planets. They're just kind of like 4 planets, but times a lot. 16 times.
Is Morrowind? This thing was a miracle. We had unparalleled freedom.
Yeah, I don't exactly agree with you here, Apoon. Because you're saying that Bethesda can just make a broken game and fix it 4 years after the fact, and people not going to complain? but sometimes they don't fix it ever. Like Fallout 4, I think still has a bunch of broken shit with it. And so does pretty much every other game they've ever made. And it's some like really basic stuff. They just do this really shameless thing where they hope that the modders are going to fix it. And then they can sell you paid mods. Because that's exactly what they do.
During the first mission, players board their ship and set course for the stars. They could fly anywhere. Hold on. Set course? Was that loading screens? Surely we could actually fly to planets in this massive space exploration RPG. Some spend hours attempting this, and turns out, no. No, you can't. Because planets in this game are literally just massive JPEGs floating around in an empty skybox. That's space.
That's completely. Yeah, I'll give you that. Sometimes they do fix things that they broke with the previous patch. Because that next-gen patch for Fallout 4, it broke a bunch of shit, including many, many mods. And then I guess they had to fix it.
That's 100%. I know, that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That can't be real, right?
You can't land on them. You can't even get to them without hours of your life gone. Manage that, and you'll just phase through them.
Hey, Alana Pierce.
Yes.
I love Alana Pierce.
Want to actually explore space in this space exploration game? Well, that'll involve digging through layers of horrifically organized interstellar maps, and then bearing multiple rounds of cutscenes and loading screens to get anywhere. Exciting stuff. Can't fly in atmosphere, can't take off from planets. That's another loading screen too. People are over the moon. There's also overly drawn out animations every time you get in and out the cockpit, and dock onto ships and stations. These aren't even used as covers for loading screens. They're just long, unskippable animations, just for the sake of it. Want to be immersive and actually fly around? Well, thankfully, we have options. You can get into the cockpit, long animation, launch into orbit, cutscene and loading screen, and then use the ship's targeting system to pick a planet with a quest marker on, cutscene and another loading screen. But why do all of that when it's 10 times longer than fast traveling from the menu?
Yes, exactly. And matter of fact, I think the first time they teach you about fast travel, they just, well, they don't really teach you about it. It's more like you have to go to a place and they just tell you fast travel to it, which is any game that encourages fast travel mechanics, that is admitting that your traversal system sucks. Because I shouldn't want to fast travel. In Red Dead Redemption, I like riding my horse around because the world is cool and fun. There's random events. Maybe along the way I'm gonna like kill some bandits, or I'm gonna be hunting for some skins or whatever. You know, I don't want to have to fast travel. If you got traversal, I want it to be good and usable.
Have a ship if you're just going to use the menu.
I like driving around in Grand Theft Auto because the driving is really fun.
Bounty hunters, contraband scans, unique events. However, space combat isn't great, and all of these are completely avoidable by instantly fast traveling somewhere else. Bethesda also never bothered to add a system that tracks and prevents repeat encounters, so be prepared to hear a lot of the same space shanties. Okay, space, a pretty big part of an open world space exploration game, pretty much non-existent. But it's okay still. This is a Bethesda game. Their strong suit has always been on for exploration and world building. Once we actually land on these planets, there'd be an overwhelming amount of things to do and places to see. More handcrafted content than Skyrim and Fallout 4 combined, Todd
I'm
said.
sure there will be.
We could land anywhere. Explore entire planets. So fumble through the menus again, and after 2 cutscenes and 3 loading screens, players land and emerge onto their first new planet in the settled systems.
Oh, I love driving in GTA 4 more. I think I do. It has way more weight to it. Everything in GTA 4 has a lot of weight. The ragdolls are really good. Like when you land a headshot on some guy and he just like falls over with that ragdoll is so satisfying. And the driving is really fun, even though it takes some getting used to because the cars are very heavy and they tend to get you tend to lose control of them.
Where is everything? Okay, let's check the map. What on earth is that? A bug? A rendering error, perhaps? No. Turns out, that's just how they designed it. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the map. Awesome.
Luckily, there's a scanner we can use. And it looks like there's a few undiscovered locations in the distance we can head to. Hundreds of meters away. That could take a while, so best get out the rover. Wait, there's no rover. Bethesda designed a planetary exploration game without a readable map or a land vehicle. Okay, running it is. The world looks good. Bethesda has nailed the lighting and skybox, and there's some interesting creatures, natural formations dotted about, alien dung piles to sift through, and a few old facilities to explore. This particular planet has an abandoned cryo lab, a UC listening station, a relay station, and an occupied cave. Not sure why the abandoned facilities are full of enemies, but occupied caves are completely empty. But anyway, wow. There's even some of that old Bethesda environmental storytelling here. Nice. But eventually, it's time to take off and head to another planet. Hold on. Is that identical formations, the same creatures, the exact same cryolab? The building layout, enemies, spawn placements, even down to dead bodies, notes, and terminal entries. Everything about this place, the exact same. The game has over 1,000 planets and 120 star systems, and Bethesda decided to just sprinkle the exact same 100 locations around them. And due to a weird algorithm, a lot of the time, that'll be more of those caves, cryolabs, and UC listening stations. Even the main quest of the game recycles these identical locations, multiple times.
Oh, we were right there, man!
Outside of procedural places of interest, there's about 4 main cities in the game, around 30 small settlements, and just 82 unique locations. All this spread between 1,000 planets. There's also a couple dozen temples scattered around, but these lose their charm quickly because, again, they're all the exact same, down to the enemy placement and even the same puzzle. These are also
these are terrible. They're so terrible. The puzzle really is the same, and I think if you want to complete the game, and get the new game plus, you need to do all of them, and they're just all the same. You fly around, you get a Skyrim ability that's like the shouts, and then you move on. And most of those kills are just not very good. They're just not very good.
So half the time you'll be finding these ancient, untouched temples next to a procedurally generated Taco Bell drive-thru. There's also a bug that shows most of the game's points of interest on a planet. And there it is, the most interesting place in the galaxy. Again, Todd wasn't lying. You can land anywhere on these planets. However, everywhere is pretty much the exact same. Planets in Starfield do have varying weather, atmospheric hazards, gravity, and signs of life. There's also some hills, sometimes some craters, and even a few planets with multiple biomes. But mostly, these planets are going to be looking the same, and you'll be trekking across incredibly repetitive, flat land on foot for hours. Proper mountains in the game? Not really. Valleys? Nah. Rivers? What now? There are oceans, even some creatures in those oceans, but Bethesda took out
really?
water swimming, so we can't
I haven't seen any of those. Oh yeah, I guess because you can't really swim, so, and there's no underwater resources. Like, I know people give No Man's Sky a lot of shit for essentially like lying to people and launching with none of the features that they promised, and also being broken as hell. But that redemption story is probably one of the biggest redemption stories in the history of gaming, because ever since they have released free updates that change the game and add meaningful mechanics and meaningful content that is very varied, and there's a shit ton of it. And you can play the game in a variety of different ways if you're the type of guy who likes that type of game, because there's a lot of the crafting and collection of materials just to get to that content. And much of that, the game doesn't really tell you about, so you just kind of have to look it up online. But it is, compared to Starfield, it is like a million times better.
What?
Is modded Starfield worth playing? Well, I don't know at what price point you would want to buy it. I would say sort of, because there's many mods, especially on PC, that are going to overhaul the game and add a bunch of more stuff and actually turn it into an RPG. But I don't know for what price. I don't know for what price. If you can get it for free, or if you can get it for like under $20, maybe. Maybe. It's not without redeeming qualities. But it is, out of all the Bethesda games, probably the least inspired one, in mechanically the blandest. And the world is also very bland. The world really is. The factions are very bland. The lore is very bland, uninspired, generic. Because in something like this, in a space game, a space exploration fantasy game, you want to have an inspired world with a bunch of factions that you want to be part of, or you want to engage with, or you want to know, you want to get to the bottom of what's going on here. But they're pretty generic. The space pirates are space pirates. Rujin Corporation is a corporation that is predatory and exploitative. So not much of a twist there. The New Star Collective, or whatever that was called, the good guys, essentially, Space Police, is just Space Police. And they're insanely bland, and they're mostly just objectively the good faction. What was the other ones? The Free Star Collective, I think that was the Space Cowboys, which are just space cowboys. It's a cowboy with a cowboy hat with a revolver in space. They don't add anything to it. There's no twist to it. And I think there was like a few more. There was the cultist that you get in the Shattered Space expansion. Also very uninspired. Really, the writing is so poor that it's not really immersive, and you don't care about them.
We hadn't landed on a planet at all. We'd landed on a small, randomly generated tile of a planet with almost nothing on. The tiles aren't even persistent with each other. Land on a bordering tile, and the last tile will look completely different. While there's not enough going on planets in this game, at the same time, the opposite problem. For a game about space exploration, nowhere is actually unexplored. Head to a barren moon in the middle of nowhere, well out into the furthest corner of the settled system, and you'll still land next to 3 old factories and a swarm of pirates not even 500 meters from the ship. You've just landed on a world with radiation storms, 200-degree temperatures, and acid rain. Oh look, there's a cave with some human remains. You're not exploring or discovering anything here.
Yeah. And there are, what I also said, I think, last stream when we talked about Starfield, what I appreciate is there are gameplay modifiers. You can turn up the radiation damage to the maximum, and I think it actually increases the amount of XP you get in total. So you can adjust the gameplay to be as enjoyable as possible if you enjoy the core mechanics. But that really depends on if you really enjoy the core mechanics. The gunplay, I would think, is fine for the most part. Many of the enemies are just too spongy to be fun. And many of the guns are just not inspired looking, but they feel okay to shoot. They're all right.
You do on these planets? Well, you can scan and survey the geology and fauna for XP. However, this basically boils down to just running around spamming the left bumper. Of course, there's also no index for any of this, so you can't even see what you've scanned. Also, again, no underwater swimming, so Bethesda went through all the trouble of modelling, designing, and texturing underwater creatures, only for them to never be visible to the player.
Awesome.
You can scan them though. You can mine materials and build outposts with them.
And this, by the way, this is very demotivating to be a part of a team like that and working for them. Because imagine you were the guy who did the models for those creatures. You spend a lot of your time working on it, and, you know, you expected to at least see it in the game, you know, so it's not for nothing. And then next thing you find out, because the game is so poorly planned and it's not designed sufficiently, your work was for nothing. You did a bunch of nothing bullshit for things that no one is ever going to experience. And that's like super annoying.
Find more materials, But outside of crafting and XP farming, it's a loop you can skip entirely by just looting or purchasing stuff. You can run through the same few heavily reused places of interest, and finally, complete the 1 or 2 incredibly basic Radiant fetch or kill quests that have a chance to spawn on them. But a few hours of running around the same small tiles of planets, clearing the same factories, mining the same rocks, and digging through the same piles of literal shit, and the charm begins to wear off. The game's 4 cities. They're not massive.
They're terrible.
And the performance is...
No, they're really not inspired. I don't care if they were massive. I care if they were densely packed with interesting stuff, and they're not. I would reference Deus Ex, Human Revolution, or even Mankind Divided. I thought those were very good games that had relatively small worlds, but densely packed, and they felt alive. They felt lived in. You could go into most buildings, and they had something interesting, whether it would be a safe or an NPC or some environmental storytelling. Very, very good. I love that. And in this, you barely get any of it. The cities are super uninspired. One of them is like the cyberpunk city, which is a cyberpunk city that was built on an oil rig, which that was the only creative thing I can say about it. It was built on an oil rig. The other one was the space cowboy city, which is like a cowboy outpost, but in space. Not interesting at all. There's nothing to it. It's in a space desert, and people there are space cowboys. The city on Mars was built inside of, I think it was like a mining facility or something like that. Also uninspired, very bland, very generic. And the other one, I don't even remember. I don't actually remember what that one was. Oh, Paradiso, if that counts. That, I think, was like a massive hotel complex that is run by a greedy corporation, and essentially everybody there is an indentured servant. And that was kind of the thing. And that's supposed to be paradise because the rich people own it, and they get to say what happens and all that. Like, it's really nothing interesting.
Horrific in them. It's also 2023, and anytime you want to enter a building,
very by the numbers.
Screen. Fast travel to a building, it will put you outside the front door. So that's 2 loading screens.
You can't keep getting away!
Again, this game requires an SSD to run. Also, this...
And you know what? I would be willing to put up with the loading screens if we got a great story, we got a great world, and then I'll be like, okay, it's Bethesda. They're using the same engine they used in 1964, so it's whatever. But at least we got some really good stuff going on that's worth putting up with the loading screens, but it really isn't.
City, there's like 400 people here, and it's in the middle of absolutely nowhere. It's also home to the largest and most...
Oh yeah, by the way, this New Atlantis, I forgot to talk about that one. It's interestingly designed in the way of like, it's the capital of the humans, and all of the humans are there. It's a bustling city with many districts, but it doesn't feel like that at all. There's absolutely zero sense of population. You get a couple of NPCs here and there that are all really weird looking, and the city is too big for its own good. It's too open. It is too like the scale is too big, and it makes it feel small. Like it makes it feel empty. So they failed with that. They failed with that.
Advanced military force in the entire galaxy, but walk just a few hundred meters away, and you'll find camps of pirates and mercenaries. Trying to get around the city? Good luck, because again, there's no actual surface map, so finding anything here is a complete nightmare. The NPCs, incredibly lifelike. Their facial expressions are quite something. And turns out, in the year 2330, gunshots don't faze anyone.
Nobody cares.
Todd has now also just completely given up on the concept of Radiant AI. In Oblivion, NPCs had fairly in-depth day-to-day schedules. Here, they're just walking around randomly in silence, staring into your soul. Almost every named NPC in the game is now tagged as essential and unkillable.
Yeah, this really sucks.
The AI in general, interesting too.
He's just standing in front of her!
Terrible in combat, weird spawns, glitching through walls. Ascension. The enemy variety, overwhelming. 90% of them are bounty hunters with guns, pirates with guns, or angry religious people with guns.
Oh, off, grasshopper.
Yeah, those are
There's also
the
a few types of
ecliptics. I
robots,
forgot to talk
and
about
then a
them because
bunch
they're
of
not
mostly
worth
passive
mentioning
battles.
anything.
The combat itself is actually pretty decent, but there's not much of it. Add on to that most enemies being pirates, a faction you'll probably join early on, and now there's even less combat.
Yo guys, it's me, Charlie. Hey, did that guy just turn into sand?
The new lockpicking system. Very fun, and very rewarding. And for a game so heavily reliant on inventory management, maps, and menus, the UI here, absolutely horrific.
This is fucking bullshit. Okay? These fucking assholes, these
Menus within menus, maps within maps. Todd has been known to streamline game features over the years, and Starfield is no different. Melee weapons. They're in the game, but there's not many. The ones that are there aren't modifiable, like they were in Fallout 4 and 76. You can still take gun mods off, but this time, you can't add them back onto other weapons. They just disappear. No armor and weapon dismantling. You can't loot outfits from NPCs' bodies. And the base building from Fallout 4 is here, but it's
I
bare
think you
bones.
kind of
There's no
could.
settler system,
Some of
raids, or economy system, and the whole thing is pretty much pointless.
Oh, what am I doing?
Stealth, definitely worse than previous games.
Oh yeah, the stealth. You needed to put a perk point in the stealth tree just so you can use stealth. Otherwise, when you crouch, you're not in stealth. You're just crouched. So yeah, go and try to figure it out.
People now see you through walls and platforms, and guards just teleport directly to you. Companions rarely crouch, and alert everyone, all the time. The game also has cartoonishly large vents peppered around buildings, conveniently placed in areas you need to sneak around. They're so big, you can literally sprint around in them. This is definitely a coincidence, and not because Bethesda didn't bother to lower the player hitbox when you're crouching.
Coincidence? I think not.
The speech in Starfield? A big step up from 4. No voice actors means more varied dialogue options, and a more nuanced dialogue system. More chances to persuade and affect quest outcomes, less, give me money.
We are for the money.
Also, you can now actually see what your character's about to say. However, there's also a new persuasion system, and it uses multiple rounds of speech checks to pass.
Do you want to have sex with me?
Yes, I do.
Amazing.
Not now.
Not a terrible idea, but Emil and the boys couldn't really be asked to actually write all these speech options, so instead, they just wrote a bunch of generic ones the game can pull from, meaning half the stuff you say here will make no sense at all.
Yeah, that's the thing though, Dog's Plane. Even going on a murderous rampage in that game is not fun because most of the NPCs are essential. So you can't even kill them. They drop to a knee and then just sit there for a little bit and then they get back up. So it's not satisfying at all.
It's also still based on percentages, so you can just save and try again.
And the thing is that the NPCs are really insufferable and terribly written and have awful dialogue, so you want to kill them. You want to be the bad guy, but you can't really be the bad guy. So the game doesn't want you to be.
I'm not giving you my card.
While there's some incredibly believable persuasion here,
Maybe I can make an exception.
the dialogue itself, generally quite bland and boring.
Oh my god, I still have to talk to this bitch.
Fallout 4 was criticised for its overuse of Radiant quests.
It isn't real.
Another summit.
So in Starfield, they dialed it up to 11. Even a ton of the regular quests feel Radiant. There's a ton of fetch and kill quests, and these are now even worse because of all the loading screens and menu digging.
I've waited years.
Need to speak to someone? Well, despite there being faster than light ship travel, inter-system radio, internet, or messaging doesn't exist here. You're gonna have to travel a few light years and bear a few rounds of loading screens to have a 30-second chat, and then go through the same again to leave. A significant portion of the game could be skipped if you could just send an email. You also have a smartwatch on your wrist for the entire game, but can't talk or text someone on the same planet. But steal a paperclip? and everyone in every star system in the game.
Oh yeah. I haven't thought about this. You do have a smartwatch that you almost kind of never use in the game, and you can't talk to anybody on it. You know how in Cyberpunk somebody would call you on your phone or whatever, like Cyberpunk phone you got, and you just get to have conversation with them? Same thing in GTA. And that saves you a lot of going back and forth between locations to talk to the people yourself. You don't get to do that. You can't do that because you need to go back and forth and fast travel a bunch so you can get to the stupid guy and have an actual 5-second conversation with him that you can tell him, okay, I killed the guy that you wanted me to kill. And then he's going to be like, oh, cool, here's $5.
About it. Makes sense. A lot of the quests are linear,
badass,
ending on one of two outcomes, and there's pretty much no interaction between different quest lines or even factions. Their outcomes don't affect anything and mean nothing. While there's less quests than Skyrim, you'll still be given a metric ton of them, and again, with over 1,000 planets and dozens of other locations, the boys at Bethesda didn't consider adding a sort by local option, meaning it's a nightmare to work out where they all are and get through them. Okay, the quests aren't brilliantly made, but how about the world and story itself? This was Bethesda's first new universe in 25 years. They couldn't just coast on pre-established work here. They'd have to write this whole thing themselves from the ground up. But it's fine. Todd's got top writing talent. And him, Emil, and the rest of the writing team...
Oh, was Todd a writer on this? Okay, that makes sense.
This game's setting. Let's make it extremely inoffensive and completely sanitized. Remember lads, we're gunning for a mainstream crowd here. We don't want to put anyone off. No mature themes, dark humor, nothing edgy at all. This is not Fallout in space. More like the Jetsons. So they design a game with a tone more akin to a children's show than a gritty, realistic space frontier. Most characters are dull, completely morally upstanding, straight arrows, with nothing to them. Even the pirates here are Nickelodeon tier.
Yeah, Nickelodeon tier is very well put. Is Disney Channel
with briefcases,
TV show villains
dancing on stage. Yes, that's what a nightclub looks like. Also, we have an incredibly detailed dismemberment system with gore and other animations ready-made from Fallout 4. Let's get rid of it completely. This is despite the game already having a mature rating, by the way. And while there's no rover in this, we'll still put vehicles in the game. And even cool mechs.
Oh, they did put in a rover.
Around those cool mechs. Can the player pilot them?
But that was in post. No. That was like 8 months later or something.
That's illegal in universe. Okay. Only enemies can then. No, not them either. We'll just add them as background furniture in 1 or 2 locations. So what about the actual story? Okay, hear me out. Starfield's universe has a series of massive wars set across multiple star systems. Let's set this game decades after any of that happens. Right? Will there be alien characters? No, not really.
Oh yeah, and another thing, this is an awful idea. Let's set the game so long after all the fun stuff happens, and then you can go to a museum and they're going to tell you about all this fun stuff that happened that you missed out on. And now you have to live in the world in which nothing interesting happens because all the interesting stuff happened. The Earth, by the way, is completely destroyed because I think they wanted to create grav drives, but that would mean the environment would be fucked up, but that would mean then the planet would be doomed. It was a very contrived reason. But yes, that big event, you just get to hear about it.
People
and nothing really significant happens while you're playing the game.
Some alien animals.
They just tell you about all the fun stuff you missed out on.
Going for realism here. True sci-fi with a grounded NASA punk art style.
NASA punk. I did like the art style though.
Space wizards at the end, driving the entire plot of the game. The player's goal is to become Starborn. What we'll have them do is collect the same artifact in the same temple with the same puzzle at the end 24 times. Nice. Then at the end of the game, they can jump to a parallel universe. But let's not get too crazy with this. They're all the exact same, with a 15% chance of one minor change, like a character becoming a potted plant. Brilliant. No one could predict any of this.
Yeah, I like the museum too because it's in the beginning of the game and they essentially give you a bunch of lore that is interesting that only serves as a framework around the world that you're going to live in and nothing else. It's just like, okay, this is what the New Star Collective is, whatever, the NC. This is what the Terramorphs are. These are all the fun and awesome wars that happen that influence the politics of this world and the dynamics between the factions, but there are no dynamics between the factions. There are good factions, and then there's the pirates. And then there's the Varun, which is the space cultists that you don't really get to see much.
We just have to make sure that hair clipping glitch on the hunter character that would spoil who they are and the game's big reveal is patched before final release. Despite the issues, on launch, Starfield does amazingly. Bethesda says it's their biggest launch ever. It's the #1 bestseller on Steam despite being free with the Games Pass, and there's over 6 million players on launch.
Yeah, because Game Pass.
Very positive. However, the honeymoon doesn't last long.
Yeah, that's the honeymoon period. I've had this with many games.
The initial excitement wears off, and opinions begin to change.
Boring.
Not good. Todd, they're leaving negative reviews on Steam. Okay, now we've been through this before. Didn't handle it amazingly. We should just keep a level head here. Let these reviews simmer and ride out the storm. Log on to Steam. Respond to the reviews. Each one individually. Tell them their subjective opinions are objectively wrong.
No.
Boring. That's insane. Astronauts went to the moon a few times. There's nothing there. They weren't bored. That's good. Write that. Bad RPG mechanics? They must be playing the game wrong. Tell them to create a different character and try again. Send. What else?
What most companies would do is say, we understand your frustrations. We're working on improving the game. We have our developers working tirelessly to give you the best experience. And then you know what you do? Nothing. You do nothing. You don't fix it. You don't make it better. Just tell people you will. And eventually you're going to release a patch that puts in like 5 more bugs and it fixes 3 of them. So there you go. But they had to be Bethesda, doing the signature Bethesda thing.
Well, have they considered the amount of data they're generating in those load screens? Great. Send that to. Emil also sees the backlash. He ponders for a moment. Was it possible their game actually had some issues? Could he have been wrong? No. He was right. It's the fans that were wrong. So he boots up Twitter and writes a 15-part thread on just that. However, shockingly, Bethesda's rebuttals are ineffective. On Steam, very positive slips to mostly positive to mixed, and by December, mixed to mostly negative. Todd blames the bad reviews on the game being too different.
What?
But it was alright. December 7th, 2023. It's awards night, and Todd takes his seat. Online, the game was getting blasted, but the critics would understand.
And Starfield. And the Game Award goes to Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean, yeah, dude. I wouldn't even, like, compared to actual RPGs that give you freedom of exploration, that give you the freedom to fail quests, that give you the freedom to kill characters you're not supposed to kill, that give you the freedom to be a good guy, bad guy, somewhere in between guy, give you the freedom to have different builds and different things. You wouldn't even call Starfield an RPG. You can't really even do that in good faith compared to all these other games that exist.
Post-launch, Starfield's player numbers crater quickly. Within a month, 330,000 players on Steam dribbles down to 100,000. The next month, that becomes 40,000. And by December, the game has less than 10% of its original...
Oh, did USA lose to Turkey? Well, that sucks. Well, Turkey, I think, has been pretty much officially eliminated from, like, progressing in the competition. So you lost 2 dudes that are not going to make it further. But the USA is going to make it, so that's what you got. they're being an underdog in this one. They have a pretty decent chance of getting to a good spot. They're not going to win it all, obviously. It's Team USA. But they've been playing pretty good so far.
Player base. It's not just players. The game is so boring, high-profile modders are just up and quitting in the middle of development. Okay, no bueno. They need to do something, and quick. So people at Bethesda man the desks and get to work on patches. And within a few months, miracles start to materialize. 60 frames per second.
What?
An eat food button? My god. They'd even added a map. However, any goodwill from patches instantly incinerated as they unveil paid mods for a third time and try to shift singular quest mods for $7 a piece.
People will buy anything. The more you put into it,
hint, hint. As much as the market will bear.
So what happened? Well, post-launch, a few articles on the game's development comes out, and we get a glimpse of the behind the scenes. Back in 2015, and full-scale production of Starfield was kicking off. For Bethesda, this is also a time of aggressive expansion. 180 people in a single building in Rockville in 2015 turns into 500 people spanning 4 development teams, cities, and multiple countries by 2021. And naturally, for development, this changes things. Individual developer freedom goes down the toilet, and people are now forced to adhere to a strict development schedule. According to a former dev, some of the best features of Skyrim and Fallout 3 started out as random side projects they'd play around with during development. However, Bethesda's new games are made with a checklist design. Veer off it, and upper management won't be happy. So this experimentation is no longer possible. At the same time, a ton of bureaucracy, constant meetings, and a game that is now essentially designed by committee. Word on the street is, Todd is known to be an obsessive micromanager, so almost every creative decision runs through him.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Now under his belt, he's stretched thin. Emil Paliarulo is still the head writer, and his philosophy hasn't changed here. He likes to keep things simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. This is my own personal rule for myself, right?
And why put in any effort?
That is it's a general rule in software development. It's they call it KISS
a good story.
For obvious reasons.
Players are just gonna make a paper airplane out of it.
And they're gonna throw them around the room, and they're never gonna see your story because they are gonna spend 30 hours making shacks.
Bruh. He's also the design lead, and he's still absolutely raw dogging that too. No need for a proper, widely accessible, unified document to keep the 500 people working on the game informed and on.
We don't need that.
Let's make the game itself a design document. Just write some notes in the game files as we go. The result
is a
very compartmentalized development.
That's what they did?
With a ton of siloed game features that never
code comments?
Each other. Mechs that are designed, textured, and coded, and then barely appear outside of a single mission. And systems like Zero Gravity that, again, are only used a handful of times. After negative...
And that was a pretty good system.
Gameplay, they'd also pivot direction massively mid-development, and a ton of systems central to the game were trimmed. And Starfield goes from a more survival and resource-oriented game to something more casual. Fuel consumption, punishing planetary hazards, and the necessity of outpost building, all either scrapped or nerfed to the point of being irrelevant. In the past, Todd has said he builds his games starting with the world, and then builds everything out from there, finding the fun as they go along. However, for Starfield, that happened in the final year of development. It took around 7 years to find that fun, and for the vast majority of people, it was nowhere to be found. Despite the patches and DLC, the damage had been done. Starfield's player base continued to dwindle, and within 6 months of launch, 97% of its Steam players gone. On Steam, for Skyrim, it took around a decade before players dipped below 20,000.
Oh, damn.
For Fallout 4, that took around 5 years. For Starfield, it took 3 months. As of 2025, Fallout 4 has 6 times the Steam players, Skyrim around 7. The developer's original intent for the game was to be a long-term platform for annual expansions, but with these player numbers, not sure about that. Even on Bethesda's communication channels, months of silence on the game. No patches for almost half a year. Had they up and quit too? But then in March 2025, a tweet. The game is not dead yet. A patch even.
Oh my god, it's gonna come back, you guys. Starfield 2.0.
And a new, very low graphical setting. Nice. And with a presumed second expansion for Starfield in the works, the game's remaining players wait for details, with a sea of paid creations to keep them busy in the interim. But for the third time now,
Baldur's Gate 3.
Todd leaves the Game Awards empty-handed. The industry was not the same as it once was. The competition is now hot. The tech, incredibly impressive.
I mean, when you're a company like Bethesda, you compete with yourself. You compete with your prior projects that have been successful. In their case, they were kind of competing with Starfield, with Skyrim. But well, at some point they were competing with Starfield. They just needed to make a better one. But yeah, they made Skyrim, so people can expect Starfield to be nearly as good. Of course, reasonably to expect that it's going to be better. But still, it's Bethesda.
This next project was different. Bethesda.
But they ended up competing with No Man's Sky, a game developed by what, 100 people?
They could not mess it up.
So yeah, that was it. And now, this video gave me the vibe to watch some Internet Historian. Let's see what he's been up to. I haven't watched a lot of his... we're going to watch the Fall of 76. We're going to talk about Fallout 76. And there's one that is... The Ever Given? Is this about the one that got stuck in a canal? That big ship? Perhaps. Actually, most likely. So let's go back in time to, believe it or not, 7 years ago. And watch The Fall of 76.
If you found this tape, it means that
I just want that part about the collector's edition with the helmet and the trash bag.
How did this happen? Well, I'll tell you. Buckle up, buckaroos. Today's lesson is the misfired launch of Fallout 76. June 2018. It began with everyone getting just a little hyped up.
Have we waited long enough, guys?
Oh god, yes we have, Todd.
I think we have.
Fallout 76, Bethesda's biggest game yet. My god, it was exciting. And they promised we'd know more at E3. E3 hype time. The press conference. 16 times the detail.
16
yes.
times the detail. There's all new rendering, lighting, and landscape technology.
4 times the map size.
It is 4 times the size of Fallout 4. And it's our biggest one yet.
My god, it was exciting.
In half the frames per second.
November 14th,
they didn't say that, though.
2018.
They should have started off by saying that.
With a day one patch of 50 gigabytes.
For fuck's sake. I'll see you tomorrow.
But once that's downloaded, people start logging into the hellscape that is Fallout 76. And oh dear lord, they never fix the bugs. And there are so many of them. Goodbye world, goodbye necks, goodbye body, goodbye heads, bugs, bugs, bugs everywhere. Server crashes, game crashes, old bugs imported from Fallout 4. Use more than one nuke at a time, server's dead. Textures far too texturous, an all-consuming void. Error log 307.
There was a bunch of memory leaks too.
Can't stop asserting dominance with a T-pose. Frame rate problems, screen tear problems, getting too swole, getting underneath the map, getting attacked by invisible enemies, spawning too many enemies.
It kind of speaks for itself.
Spawning too many god rays. Also, your camp resets after every session, and sometimes it goes underwater. Holotapes randomly play static, but too many holotapes mean none of them will play. Enemy AI is far more A than I. Animations are broken. Surprise! Floating objects and a traveling merchant. Just to name a few. Joseph Anson has a great video that documents just the ones that he found personally. That
oh yeah, the
video is
1001
3
glitches of
hours
Fallout.
But it gets
Yeah.
worse.
That was a great video.
348780 can corrupt your data and force you to reinstall the game and console operating system.
Awesome.
PC players had their computers brick entirely. When the date rolled over to the 1st of January.
Getting bricked by Fallout.
The nukes in the game stopped working altogether. No one thought it prudent to program in other years in an always online game. And a few players were straight up logging into other people's accounts. This guy had a level 78 character that was randomly replaced with a level 8 character. Bethesda said they couldn't...
I think there was something about those nukes too, because they require launch codes, but people figured out what the launch codes were, and they were just nuking everything all the time. Like there was a... They just kind of stun locked the nuke system. It was something like that. I'm sure he's gonna say it. It was so funny.
Many players are not thrilled with this game, and they want Bethesda to know that. And they want everyone else to know that too. But Bethesda owns the platform. Is Fallout 76 fun?
Yes, it is. Banned for racism. Thread locked.
They had no direct outlet for their rage. The only solution was to put a torch to everything else. Reddit, Twitter, Bethesda's other games on Steam. The backlash was immense. But surely level heads would prevail. The reviewers would come out and say that the game isn't so bad. Oh dear lord, they hated it. This is so sad. Despacito, play Country Roads.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River.
And the YouTube community had this to say.
It's really f***ing boring.
Could barely bring myself to
It really was. It really was.
this review.
No one on staff.
Cause yeah, it wasn't just the technical issues. I remember, I think I played it a little bit back then, or maybe it was like 2 years later. I don't remember, but a lot of it, like I would say, the world was good. The world map and exploring it, finding out new stuff was okay, but there's no NPCs, there's no memorable characters, there's no dialogue that you would ever remember, nothing quotable, nothing to like actually have any sort of a footprint on your gaming memory. It just kind of existed.
Wants to play.
And on top of that, you got a massive amount of technical issues that are just making it demotivating to keep playing, even if you liked it.
More of this video game. I'm not going to subject myself to another 20, 30 hours of this fucking mess.
In short, Fallout 76 is morally, technically, and creatively bankrupt.
The mods on Bethesda forums were working overtime. The mods on Reddit almost gave up. Look, I'm not saying that some people didn't enjoy and have fun with this game. But what I am saying is that the Metacritic was really funny to read. So what happened? Well, it came out that development was hugely rushed. The deadlines were tight.
Oh yeah, they did. They found the dev room with all the weapons and then just duped them. And at some point, there were hackers running around giving you items, and once you got the items, it would get you banned. I think that also happened. And people were getting banned left and right for literally doing nothing, just existing. Also, the PvP was kind of broken because you can't shoot at somebody unless they consent to being shot, which means that they need to shoot you back, and then PvP was enabled. Which in games like this, I don't like PvP. I like playing co-op.
Plus, this wasn't Bethesda's A-team. It's actually a relatively inexperienced division based in Austin, and the scope of the game kept getting bigger.
We're gonna need distant weather systems.
Hey, Todd, I stayed up all night and I just finished.
We're gonna need 16 times the detail.
Please. Todd, no more.
We're gonna need 4 times the size of Fallout 4.
That, and they were trying to patchwork the old Bethesda creation engine into a multiplayer framework. What else could you expect?
That's why I give my kids Fallout 76. That fool.
Now, Bethesda could tolerate the bugs and the bad reviews and the irate players, but what they couldn't tolerate were the exploits. Infinite inventory, infinite invisibility. The frame rate was tied to the game speed, so people were going a lot faster than they should. Server hopping for more items, infinite cache and infinite duplication, unlimited XP, unlimited nuking. The nuclear codes were unencrypted and you could wall clip into the quest room. And someone was given the curse of infinite invincibility.
Oh yeah, this guy. This I love this article.
And someone was given the curse of infinite invincibility.
A Fallout 76 bug has made a player permanently invincible, and they hate it. And this one says, Fallout 76 bug has made a player invincible, and they just want to die.
Naturally, this can really mess with other players' online experience. So Bethesda was ready, with the ban hammer
This just works.
and a blindfold to wildly flail around and take down anyone who happened by. But Bethesda wasn't satisfied with just banning people. No, they're a progressive company with big ideas. They wanted to give a road to redemption. So support sent out this email to players caught cheating. We would be willing to accept an essay on why the use of third-party cheat software is detrimental.
No, they pulled the dark side Phil. They want an apology email, a humiliation email, an essay, 500-word letter about why I'm not going to cheat in the video game that I paid for. And you guys made it so everybody can cheat. You could cheat by accident in those fucking games. They're so fucking broken.
To an online game.
God damn. Suffering.
Right. 500 words on why you're a very naughty boy, and they may just give you your account back. But a couple of days later, the mocking from news outlets caused them to reconsider this approach. One more exploit. In all the Bethesda games, there's a dev room. Every item in the game is kept here.
Oh, hell yeah, here it comes.
Top notch, because otherwise, someone could just waltz in and take all of the best items in the game, and it would be an absolute disaster. Well, shit. Of course, Bethesda wasn't equipped to deal with the issue. People started flooding in, taking the best items in the game, then selling those items on a black market of sorts. At first, they tried the usual approach, banning people who had some of the best items in the game. You spent 700 hours just to get the best gun? Die, cheater! Next, they put in a system where players would get tagged if they ever entered the room.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. You can't blame people for your own failures, because you failed to make the game, remove those critical bugs, or you failed to track appropriately who is cheating and who isn't, and you're gonna just start randomly banning people just because they got a lot of items. That's ridiculous.
And those players. That wasn't much better, but
it's insane.
To start using Smurf accounts. Get in quick with a level 1 account. Get all that good shit. Then get the fuck out. Then use a duplication glitch to get a ton more of those items. Then transfer that stuff to your main account, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's...
Bethesda then takes out this level 1 and calls it mission accomplished. And you've just beaten the game. So the problem continued. Bethesda is running out of ideas to solve it. There's a lot of speculation in the media and among players about how exactly people are getting in, but no one except for the exploiters knows for sure. That said, Bethesda needs to act fast before it ruins the economy of the game. So they wrote another email and sent it out to the Smurfs. Hello, cheater. Do you want to tell us how you did it, and we might unban you, please? Should we not hear back from you, the account will simply remain
Please snitch.
suspended. It's
big ups Domo for the follow, dude.
But from what I've seen, it's still possible to get into the dev room. November 22nd, 2018. Just a week after the release, the game goes on discount. From $60 to $40, to $35, to $30. You can find it for $15 on eBay, and in Germany they're straight up giving it for free when you buy a PlayStation controller. Also, some stores are just zip tying it to other products. But to Bethesda, it's worth selling the thing at a price close to zero, because it brings people into the atomic shop, which is where the real margins are, and it inflates the poor sales figures. Let's have a look at those. The latest figures show 76 sold less than a sixth of what Fallout 4 did. Not good. There's also been a massive oversupply of hard copies. Although, what's the point of a hard copy when the thing is just a cardboard disc telling you to redeem an online code?
Thanks for hanging out, dude.
And while
one of these days, I'm gonna make a chill stream about movies too, because I want to talk movies. Maybe we're gonna watch like Red Letter Media or something. But now we're on gaming. There's so many epic, classic gaming videos to revisit and listen to while I'm playing insert game here.
Returns are high. Immediately upon release, people began asking Bethesda for a refund. 76 is not on Steam.
And I figured I should replay GTA 5 before 6 comes out, so that's what's going on right now.
Its own platform. So they have
We're multitasking.
If players only played the game for a few hours, then generally they'd get their money back.
He's
However,
got attention deficit disorder.
Getting refunds
He's
after
neurodivergent.
24 hours of play.
I'm never dying of
Quite
virgin.
generous. But then word about this spread to forums. Then to Reddit, and a post got 12,500 upvotes informing people that this made pretty much everyone eligible for a refund, and the comments told them exactly how to do it. Bethesda was flooded with requests for refunds. And their response? Shut it down, lads. No one gets a refund now. Everyone go home. Show's over. Robot customer service man engage.
Customers who have downloaded the game are not eligible for a refund. We apologize for the inconvenience.
Oh, come on.
A few things followed. First, people got mad. One hardcore gamer even trashed a GameStop for refusing his refund.
Well, it's not GameStop's fault.
Thank you for calling GameStop. This is Brian. How can I help you?
A bit of an overreaction, but probably also fake. Second, the media.
Yeah, the media was having a field day, and I don't blame them. Like, that's epic. That's the best. That's the best, and they deserved it.
And third, a class action lawsuit.
Not just because of the game, but handling all the controversy around the game in the worst way possible. Like, the literal, worst way you could have imagined.
Their inconsistent refund policy and terms of service may not be strictly legal. November 27th, 2018. Miglatio and Rathod LLP filed a class action suit on behalf of customers. Media quickly picked up on that. Their main argument is that it's a sometimes unplayable game owing to its technical problems, then they're refusing refunds, and that Bethesda is engaged in a strategy to release it anyway and then slowly patch their way into a more playable state. Updates on this lawsuit are slow, so I'll keep you informed on the second channel. Ad time. Look, there's a meteor headed straight to Earth. Oh, now I'm back to square one. Please. curiositystream.com/internet story. Ads over. Let's rewind a little bit. Fallout fans made their pre-orders, and the most dedicated pre-ordered the Power Armor Edition.
Yes, here we go, my favorite part.
A helmet, box, map, army toys, and a genuine West Tech canvas bag. Fast forward to the release, and customers notice that their precious bags, which are supposed to be made of the finest canvas in the land,
of course,
look a bit different.
Bruh.
In fact, it looks like a carry bag the real bag should come in.
Actual nylon dog shit bag.
And deliver another? You can't do that. So there was a surge of backlash, and people began emailing Bethesda, asking for refunds, asking for answers. By this point, customer service is absolutely over it. They are done with the facade, and they send this email in response.
Hello. We are sorry that you aren't happy with the bag. The bag shown in the media was a prototype and was too expensive to make. We aren't planning on doing anything about it.
They actually said we're not gonna do anything about it. Sorry you don't like it. Suffer, we're not gonna do anything about it. Have a great day. Best regards. Bethesda demonic dog shit company services.
That's the whole email.
We're not planning on doing anything about it, by the way.
Their contempt anymore. Naturally, the internet goes wild.
Are you fucking kidding me? Wow. Wow.
Thanks for the money, dummies. 'Cause that's exactly what you are.
Okay guys, this is a bit of a PR nightmare. We have to quell the outrage. What do we do? Well, we've got this in-game currency. Let's just give them the minimum amount of that. Fantastic idea. Hear ye, hear ye. Anyone who paid $200 to $300 for the Power Armor Edition is hereby entitled to $5 worth of in-game
Hell
currency.
yeah. That gets you nothing.
And you'll be able to spend with us. 500 atoms? Fuck yeah. What are you going to do with your atoms? I'm going to buy 5/18 of the white paint version of the Power Armor.
5/18.
Oh, what about you? Lightwood laminate, lightwood laminate, lightwood laminate.
Yeah, the amount of money this shit costs, like basic bitch lightwood laminate floor mats for your house and components to build a house, absurd amount of money. It's one of the worst, least consumer friendly in-game microtransaction stores I've ever seen.
Fuck the bag. He's right. Fuck the bag. Lightwood laminate, lightwood laminate, lightwood laminate, lightwood laminate, lightwood. Of course, this was Bethesda's fantasy of what would happen. What really happened is further outrage, and even the media started piling on.
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
It even became part of that class action lawsuit from earlier. Bethesda put out a tweet apologizing for their curt customer service and gave a different excuse for why they didn't make the bags. A shortage of material, apparently.
Right.
That was quickly debunked. Because it turns out they did make the canvas bag, except they gave them all out to influencers.
Hey!
Oh dear.
Young Ye got one.
The same one, of course. But it's sourced from that ever-scarce material, canvas. But what's more amusing is that it turns out there is a canvas bag in the game. If you don the postman's outfit, which of course can be found at the Atom Shop, for 700 atoms.
Which is what, $10?
Ooh, just short.
Because what these games do, and this is what mobile games do, they price their in-game items in a specific way where you can't buy the least amount of in-game points and reasonably buy anything. So let's say you're going to see a power armor that you like, and the least amount you can buy is 500 points for like $5. Well, that's going to cost 650. So you need to essentially buy 1,000 points for $10 if you want this thing that costs a little bit over $5. This is what all of these stores do. All of them.
Well, the bleating from the online community.
Hey, what's up, Crust?
And Bethesda's lawyers realized there would be trouble, so they decided to capitulate. Alright, fine. We'll make your precious fucking bag. If you want to claim it, you'll have to fill out this form with your name, personal details, address, etc.
Okay.
We'll ship out the bag to you in 4 to 6 months.
Months? Okay. Because that's the thing. You can probably go on AliExpress or whatever shitty-ass Chinese website you can buy a bunch of Chinese stuff from, and you can buy that bag in better quality than they offered it in the deluxe edition for like $10. And it would actually be made out of canvas.
Of course, their website is a buggy mess too. Turns out all of the customer support inquiries are unsecure and open to the public. In fact, people can open and close and change them at will. Listed are details of full legal names, phone numbers, home addresses.
Oh my god, no.
If you've requested your canvas bag, you've just been doxxed.
Oh shit. This reminds me in university. We had a cybersecurity specialization, and we were tasked with doing a pen test, a penetration test on a local company. And the company we picked was specializing in online contracts. And what they did was every contract had an ID, but the ID was appended to the URL. So technically you can go on website.com/555 and you could just pull up the contract with everybody's fucking information from the URL. And if you wanted to make a script to just iterate on that number, you could pull every single contract that company's ever had with everybody's personal information in it. And you got like payment details, you got personal like address, company details. It was fucking crazy. I can't believe they actually did that. Whee! And a bunch of university students had to fix it.
Immediately fix the problem. Bethesda.
We had to figure it out and then fix it.
Shuts down the whole website. And that is the tale of the duffel kerfuffle. How could this have been so difficult? They made one for New Vegas. One last piece of merch. A rum drink. Nuka-Cola Dark. Pre-orders available in September. Shipped out on November 14th. $80 plus postage and handling. Not cheap. But in return you got a very cool bootle. Looks good on the shelf. A great conversation piece with the family over Thanksgiving. Or at least it would have been. November 14th came and went, and there was no rum. Okay. A week later on November 21st...
I can't believe it. There was no rum. I can't believe Bethesda didn't come through on their promise.
Hey, things aren't up to the usual Fallout standard, they say.
I mean...
The usual Fallout standard.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Things aren't up to the usual Fallout standard. So we'll have it for you
Fallout
soon.
standard.
No specific date given.
1 week later.
Nothing. Then on December 5th, another email. Good news. We start shipping on December 12th. It's been nearly 3 months since you pre-ordered, but as a show of good faith, we made this promotional video for you. And this is where things went from tardy to retardy. Right there. Did you catch that? That's just a regular industry bottle and a plastic shell. We paid $80 and waited a year for a plastic shell? People were not happy. Look at that ratio. Nothing in the marketing said that it was a plastic shell. Super premium, we were promised. And the media agreed.
Well, there was a shortage of glass.
People began cancelling their orders. Silver Screen tries to convince people that it's not cheap and shitty. It actually cost us twice as much to make the plastic one than the glass one. Then what the fuck? We spent 100 hours coding the design. Convincing stuff. So it arrives, just a few days before Christmas. The rum is about the quality you'd expect.
Can I swear on this? It's my own show.
Worse is the design. The oversized lip means liquid can pour inside the shell.
Hard to pour because how they made this damn thing.
Come on, man, you couldn't even get a fucking bottle properly.
Ad's over. Let's rewind a little bit.
Everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. They couldn't deliver a single thing that wasn't of abysmal quality.
Fallout fans made their pre-orders, and the most dedicated.
And we're only halfway through the video. Things get worse somehow.
We ordered the Power Armor Edition.
Oh, obviously, this is the big one. This is my favorite one. This is even better than the bags.
Helmet, box, map, army toys, and a genuine West Tech canvas.
I'm laughing in advance.
Fast forward to the release. And customers notice that their precious bags, which are supposed to be made of the finest canvas in the land,
yummy.
Look a bit different.
Bruh.
In fact, it looks like a carry bag the real bag should come in.
Bruh.
Did they really just advertise one thing and deliver another? You can't do that. So there was a surge of backlash, and people began emailing Bethesda, asking for refunds.
Oh, hold on. Did I? Yeah, I think I rewinded somehow. Did I press something? I think I did. Okay, I did.
Machine. Now, if they're happy to deceive
What about the helmet, though?
it seems silly to give them the benefit of the doubt about the glass.
Yeah, I think I pressed something. My
It's
bad.
also worth quickly talking about the Bethesda merch store.
What about the helmet that was toxic? The toxic helmet. Maybe he's gonna talk about it.
Pretty neat.
It had mold in it or something.
Good idea. I'd have that. Fallout 76 pant. Singular. But why is he so mad? The photography is always slightly off.
What's going on, man?
The jacket was mocked relentlessly on social media. But does the 76 in $276 really make it more immersive? And why did they just toss it on the ground? And it comes in this crumpled up toddler body bag. You're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in merch and you don't have an eye on? Why is she wearing the size XXL? She's clearly not happy about it. But who looked at this and said, good job, print? Now that's surprising. And what the fuck? They made the bottle properly. Yeah, one of those please, but bigger and brown. Is that so hard? Let's get back to the game. December 2018. There are 2 new patches released that caused quite a stir. First, the good. For PC, they included a number of quality of life improvements, including push to talk.
Oh yeah, it didn't have push to talk in the multiplayer games. Sounds good.
Hooray! Increased stash capacity from 400 pounds to 600 pounds.
Oh, I think they didn't have push to talk, but they had always on microphone. That's what I think was the case. And then you would just join a lobby and a million people would be talking. And like people in their house would be yelling and you could hear dogs and cats. Incredible. Incredible.
Small buff to automatic weapons. Hooray! They decreased the carry weight of bobby pins so it no longer took up 10 to 20% of people's inventory.
I got a box of bobby pins the other week that said weigh these.
There were also upgrades to the camp that allowed for easier construction, and a bunch of bug fixes. Hooray! The bad. A whole bunch of unannounced stealth nerfs. They generally made the game grindier. Ammo production was decreased. Fusion cores burnt out faster. Legendary enemies spawned less frequently.
On guard.
Ammo production decreased is batshit crazy because in this game, you know how it is in Fallout? Usually everybody is spongy. This is 1,000 times worse. This game, you need multiple magazines to put down one of the chunkier enemies.
Back you up.
And the backlash was significant because everybody knew why Bethesda was doing it. To encourage people to use the Atomic Shop. And let's talk briefly about that store. Some of the prices are outrageous. A Christmas tree for $12.
Oh
a
yeah,
Santa outfit
this is
for $20.
absurd.
Blue and yellow paint for $18. Oh look, $3 for the same sweater vest and slacks item imported from Fallout 4. But the biggest offense of all was the holiday emote bundle. $24 for some Christmas-themed emotes. Twice the price of these games. The media agreed that these were egregious prices. But worse, they're engaged in some deceiving marketing practices too. Oh look, it's marked down half price. But it's not. It was released half price. They're artificially jacking up the price, only to then give it a fake limited time discount in order to create a sense of urgency. That's illegal, here in Australia at least, in Canada and in the EU. Reddit quickly picked up on this and pointed it out. Bethesda reacted by scrapping the discount and just setting it as the always intended price. Okay, it's been about 25 minutes of whining now, so I'm just going to leave it here. I didn't even get a chance to touch on the new pay-to-win fiasco. The new camera item that lets you teleport, dwindling player numbers. But on the flip side, they're also adding new content and improving the game over time. Heck, No Man's Sky was a surprising comeback. So, maybe Bethesda can do it too.
Just realize.
But for now, Todd returns to cryostasis, hiding in his bunker until the bombs of outrage stop falling, and returning only when it's time to get our hopes up once again.
I think there was a follow-up to this, or at least I remember somebody made a follow-up to what happened. Because I remember, I'm almost 1,000% sure that Internet Historian talked about the toxic helmet. See it here. So this is here. The virus, Area 51. No? Okay, let me check. Maybe it was somebody else I watched. Because that was great. Helmet mold. Yeah, that's it. And let's see who. Oh, Angry Joe. We're going to talk about this with Angry Joe. We got It's a Gundam on this. Heel versus Babyface. Obviously, the youngster is in rotation. Everybody loved this. Let's get right into the Angry News with Angry Joe. And he's about to react. Oh no, he's not. He dead. It's over. Rip Joe. He's gone, you guys. He's gone. That is a good bit.
Joe. Right now. Very important news story. And I think we heard it about a few days too late.
Just funny, and we wanted to,
Inform the
And,
public.
yeah,
if
bring
you
attention.
have,
If you have it, please be careful.
Please be
contact
careful.
their-
Mold is serious shit. It's not
Yeah.
good for your lungs. Do not be fucking putting on the helmet. In fact, I'm worried about the guy in this video because he stuck
He
that
put it
thing
on,
on
yeah.
his head.
If you email
There's
productsafety@gamestop.com, that's where you're going to get your refund, and they will handle all those things. So
Think
just make sure
maybe
that you
somebody's
contact them
gonna
now.
try to sue Bethesda.
I mean, they could. I mean, if they were criminally negligent, you could. I mean, if it's just something that randomly happened,
we'll have to see
we'll
if
have to
anybody was hurt by the mold or anybody, But it's crazy. How'd they figure that out? Yeah. Oh, you said it was the company themselves. It's like, hey, I wonder what that phone call was like.
Yes.
Hey,
you make the
Bethesda,
calls. Like,
you
no, I don't
know
want
that
to.
helmet that you said we could make because we wanted to make a limited edition, or they probably contracted them out. Yeah, it's got mold. Oh my God, are you serious? Yeah, you're gonna have to recall them. Oh, how many do we recall? You're gonna have to recall all of them.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be a huge news.
It's expensive. Those helmets were really expensive.
So my question is, do you think Bethesda is gonna force GameStop to pay for it? Because maybe the way the contracts worked out is
these were
GameStop wanted their own exclusive edition because so GameStop does that a lot, right? They get pre-order bonuses that are different from other stores to attract people to their store. I would want to know what that contract is and who is responsible for that particular.
I imagine it's GameStop. I mean, it's not like they have a whole lot of money.
Bethesda might be like, you owe us. Yeah. This is all you. You fucking pay for
it's
it.
your product.
What do you think the trade-in is for a mold-filled helmet? Do you think they're like, well, it was a $200 mold-filled helmet. We'll give you
first doctor visit free.
Yes,
well,
Skittles.
From what I understand, if you have a product
Okay, let's do. You got the point. It had mold in it. They recalled all of them because they're actually toxic. And now we're gonna sit through and suffer through one of the most iconic internet historian videos, the failure of DashCon, the world's first Tumblr convention. You guys love
In
Tumblr.
March of 2013, a group of Tumblr users come up with a brilliant idea. DashCon, a convention specifically
Let's hop in the ball pit.
and by Tumblr users. This is their story. DashCon, hosted at the Renaissance Marriott in Chicago. Only $65 for the weekend. Epic panel.
Oh yeah, maybe I can do the No Man's Sky video later on.
LGBTQIP2SAA+. Massive ball pit. Steam-powered giraffe live show. The Baker Street Babes. And friendly memes? You bet. Expect 5,000
friendly
to
memes.
see you there.
No toxic memes.
Here comes Friday, and a big fat serving of reality. About 500 people show up at 9 a.m., but nothing is scheduled until 1 p.m., so people just wait around for the next 4 hours.
So at what point did you decide that this is what you wanted to do with your life?
I didn't, it just kind of happened.
The thug life chose you?
Turns out Steam-powered Giraffe cancelled months ago. Sorry. If you bought special tickets, no refunds though, lol. Check out the games room. 1 TV, 1 console. Perfect for up to 7,000 people. Here's that ball pit you were looking forward to.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Hop in the pit.
Overall, it's a pretty fucking slow day.
Okay, so you're dressed up as the Batman movie shooter. What made you choose this costume?
What made you choose this costume?
What made you decide to dress up as the Prime Minister of Israel to this convention?
Say dress for the job you want.
Then by 9 p.m., disaster strikes. The bill for the venue hasn't even been paid. The hotel wants it immediately or the doors will be shut and the convention is over.
I'm here at DashCon about to get kicked out unless everyone in this room can accumulate $17,000.
We currently have a donation button up on our website, and any little bit helps.
Oh, look at this. It's iconic. Iconic moment.
But they raise the money, and the con continues. Saturday, artists and stallholders who paid $150 each for their tables aren't selling anything because their customers just donated all of their cash. Tumblr's turned on the convention completely.
The destruction of this
Convention.
is dedicated to all of the women whose
Bank account.
have been ruined and ruled by it. I'm stealing my
Money.
I'm tired of you
They call DashCon a scam and try to have certain events shut down. Mark Does Stuff, a gay Hispanic panelist,
Hi, I'm Mark.
is sent death threats because they think he's a straight white male who's misappropriating the gay for profit. Pacific Rim is illegally played to an audience of 100. Tumblr sends tweets to Del Toro to get them in trouble. The Dr. Horrible sing-along blog sing-along is cancelled due to copyright concerns. Then, the main event. As long as we get to see a live reading from Welcome to Night Vale, it'll all be okay.
We're here for the live reading of Welcome to the Night Vale. It is 12:50 right now, and
Oh my god.
still not here.
Live reading Welcome to Night Vale? What was that? That's some fanfic.
What?
It gotta be some fanfic.
We're all gonna sign together, okay? So 1, 2.
While everyone is still
Oh, it's a
sitting
twice monthly podcast in the style of community updates? No, this can't be. Oh, it's an absurdist supernatural fiction podcast created by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Craner. Okay. It is presented as a community radio show in the fictional American town of Night Vale, with the eccentric local radio host reporting on the bizarre and unnatural events that occur within it. Oh, it's like Twilight Zone for dance. For Tumblr dance.
in that room waiting for the show to start, they changed the rules on the website so that there are no refunds. But don't worry, there's a silver lining. Everyone who paid extra to see Welcome to Night Vale is entitled to a free extra hour in the ball pit.
Yes! I've always wanted a free extra hour. It's a free trial.
And with that, a meme is born.
Ready for this one? Jump in the pit.
Jump in the pit. Oh, I used to love music like this when I was like 16. Jump in the pit.
By the early afternoon, the vendors pack up and leave. Some shitty panels happen.
LGBTQ&A, where they gave us
LGBT Q&A. Hey, very clever.
omnisexual, fluid.
Because again, they don't have any cash, they're
I love
giving out
fluid.
free hotel
Keep yourself
meals as
hydrated.
prizes. The teenage unpaid helpers, who are promised free meals, aren't given anything and go hungry. There's a full-on organizer meltdown. And Tumblr finds out that the main artwork used for the convention is in fact stolen copyright material. By the evening, the unthinkable happens. The ball pit starts to deflate.
No way.
And someone pisses in it.
Well, that was expected.
The ball pit...
It's not a real ball pit if no one pisses in it.
Also, Tumblr finds out that Random Acts, a charity that DashCon claims to be partnered with, isn't in fact partnered at all. Which means, by the way, they've just been pocketing the money. The organizers host an official apology panel.
Part of that is on us. There were a lot of mistakes made on a lot of different people's parts, and we take full responsibility for the parts that were us. We are first timers, but we intend to learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, okay, man. Okay, yeah.
Here's a quick summary of that.
So they're oh no, we'll tell them now. So
I blame somebody, otherwise it's all my fault. Fuck that.
And everything is closed by 1 p.m. Since DashCon, there have been many rumors online that the whole thing was an out-and-out scam. So I did some detective work to see whether it was true.
I don't know if it was a scam. I think they were just really terrible at putting together an event and didn't really think about it outside of like the concept. Well, wouldn't it be fun to have like Tumblr users gather in a convention for Tumblr users by Tumblr users? But the organizational stuff is the most important, and they couldn't be bothered because it's Tumblr users, dude. They think about it in a fan fiction way, fantasy way. The fantasy is much cooler than reality. You can make it whatever you want.
Proves that even if the staff didn't set out to scam people, they did opportunistically steal and lie. Prepare.
Oh, okay. So they did actually scam people. Maybe they started off as an unintentional scam, but then they were like, you know what? I stole that shit. Stole that shit.
Agreement to pay $40,000 plus some change to the Renaissance Hotel Marriott. They paid $20,000 before the thing began, So they had a balance of 20,000 still remaining. They told the hotel that 5,000 to 7,000 people would be attending, and could they please pay as the door sales came in.
Oh yeah, just like TanaCon. Oh my god, TanaCon was such a disaster.
On the first day, the hotel sees at most 1,000 people. They know that DashCon's door sales are fucked, so they enforce immediate payment as per their written contract. DashCon does not have the funds. And here's where it gets interesting. DashCon claims they only have $3,000 in cash. So at 9 PM, DashCon staff gather everyone into one room to beg for the remaining 17,000. Let's do a head count. 33, 129, 120, maybe another 33 here in case there are people.
Did you actually count?
And we'll add 10% to be generous.
I trust them.
It's unlikely that there are more than 350 people in this room. Now we know they reached their goal.
Almost got shut down.
Really?
We need to raise $17,000.
Oh yeah, this guy definitely a scammer.
That's pretty cool. Did you do it?
We did it in under an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
They received donations by PayPal and cash, but only a small fraction in cash. Let's be generous and say 1/10 of the room at most. You can see people donating in the footage, and it's probably much less. So even if each cash donor is giving $20, which again, generous, that's only $700 total. Therefore, the other 16,000 or so is in electronic payments. Now let's look at this leaked list.
Yummy PayPal donos.
They made most of their payment in cash, almost $12,000, but they only could have got $700 from the donors, and they only had $3,000 in cash. So where did the rest of it come from? It's door sales revenue, not donations, meaning they lied about only having $3,000 in the first place. They actually had at least $10,000. Now, here are the transactions that come from the PayPal MasterCard. Let's take that from the total owed, and what we get is the following. In a best case scenario, of the donated $17,000, at most, they spent less than $7,000 keeping the place open, they spent over $2,000 on themselves and their own accommodation, and the remaining $9,000 or so, they pocketed.
Oh, come on.
Liars.
Because I was on stage for an hour. And
how are you gonna have such a dog shit event? It wasn't even successful.
Is there 5,000 people here?
Oh my god, what a riot. They're coming out in droves. I guess, well, I wouldn't say I understand the motivation, but if it was a successful event, those people would probably think, okay, we deserve something for putting on such a great event. And then they would steal that shit. But they stole that shit and also had one of the worst organized events of all time. Oh yeah, let's sing We Are the Champions. You definitely are the champions, guys. Great job. Champions of Marks.
Yeah, okay, back to my post.
They won the Mark Championship.
But there's one last thing I want to touch on. As part of the merchandising, an official DashCon DVD is listed. And it's possible that a copy exists out there somewhere, and I need to find it. So I want to put a $100 bounty out for anyone who might have a copy.
Yeah, I don't think they made it.
To be the physical DVD, just a copy of the file itself. The hunt is on.
They didn't make that. Somebody would have to edit it, and then they would not want to do it. So let's watch the No Man's Sky video.
Everyone loves.
This one is an hour long, so that's probably going to be the last thing I'm going to watch for today.
Secrets of the cosmos. Questions we once thought impossible to answer are within our grasp. Where does the sun go at night?
Is math related to science?
If the universe is so big, then why won't it fight me?
As we look further into the universe, we see light from distant stars, eons old, perhaps hundreds, even thousands of miles away. Hold on, can I get a zoom in on that?
You bet I can. This is one of the world's most powerful telescopes. Initiating 6 times zoom.
Can this baby do 7?
I can do you one better. Maneuvering to 8 times zoom.
Pressure rising, holding steady. I can see it. Unblur.
It won't hold.
Get me 8.5 times.
You're a madman.
Can we do 16?
Upscale it to 4K.
The helium tanks will go critical.
Opening the blind. Hold her steady. Uncropping and increasing aspect ratio. Now, punch it. There it is. Life on another world. And to think, we owe it all to one indie development studio. Hello Games.
Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
I love that clip.
Okay. The year
I
was
love that clip.
2009.
This is back when Will Smith was a nice guy, and then he became cringe.
Guilford, England.
Midlife crisis
There's a
hit.
man
Then he
named
became
Sean
a rapper.
Murray, and he's just founded a company.
This
called
is the
Hello
bounce
Games.
back.
Sean and the boys are working hard on a brand new IP called Joe Danger. 2010 AD. The game just came out. It's a success.
They're a small team, but they are ambitious.
Let's do something bigger, said Sean. Let's reach for the stars. How about Joe Danger 2? Brilliant. It's 2012. Joe Danger 2 has just come out.
But that one doesn't perform as well.
We need to do something even bigger than Joe Danger 2. Joe Danger 3? No. Even more out of this world. Something no man has done before.
Joe Danger the mobile game?
Yes! And that came out in 2014. Seriously, guys, biggest thing you can think of.
I'm just a stock image, dude. Why don't you think of something?
Sean pondered for a moment, then turned and looked wistfully into the mirror. Reflected back was the visage of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
If you're going to make a space game, first person, it's never been done before. How about that? Going up in orbit to repair the Hubble telescope? So that's not a knife. Who are you going to have sex with? How much microwaves are coursing through your body now?
Planet, said Murray. Space game. Procedural generation. Planet. Okay, that sounds good. Yes, we all agree. So they set to work, cobbled together a prototype, and by VGX 2013, they are ready to announce another new IP.
No Man's Sky.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Oh, this is special. Oh my gosh!
Oh my god, you can do everything in this game.
Yes. No!
It's 2014, and it's E3 hype time. No Man's Sky has promised to be a game like no other. A practically boundless experience vibrant with life and color and things to explore. What's over there? You'll have to be the one to discover it. And then, wow, look at that big f***ing dinosaur, holy shit! And a moment later, we're in space, having a battle amongst a giant fleet. Claim a planet as your own. Explore the galaxy with your friends.
Okay, that's it. This is going to be the best game ever, you guys. It even won awards for its hype. And it will release in June 2016. The hype train was officially loading up and ready to chug out of the station. At every stop of the journey, there would be press junkets talking about the amazing scale of the game. Spread across 18 quintillion planets. It's so vast that by the time you finish exploring it all, I would have 2 new videos published. Sean himself was doing the interviews, because who is better to talk about the game than the lead guy himself? He went from interview to interview, and with each question, the answers he gave raised people's expectations of the game's scope.
Can you land on a comet? Yeah, at the moment you can land on asteroids.
No, you can't. You can't even do that nowadays.
They're literally building your
He got lost in the hype, really. Because he really, well, what we know with the benefit of hindsight, he did come across on most of these promises and they were fulfilled. But a bunch of that was just like, They didn't expect it to be this hyped because I guess when you say you can do everything in the game and then people start asking you, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? And you just have to say yes, kind of. And then you couldn't do any of that for like 5 years.
World that's procedurally generated.
Sand planets like in June, rivers, walking sentinels, hacking. So sophisticated that light diffracts through the atoms. They had to redevelop the whole periodic table.
Yeah, he had Molyneux syndrome. That's a good way to put it.
Musk was hyped for it.
2 years go by. It's early 2016, and that hype train is really moving now. Perhaps one of the biggest in video game history. Reddit was shoveling most of the gamer fuel. Skeptics and naysayers are treated as ballast and thrown from the carriage doors. Pre-orders open, and they are doing very well. The date is booked in. Some are even taking the day off work. So much hype there is that... uh-oh. Jason Schreier of the soon-to-be defunct Kotaku is about to spoil the party. He announces a delay. From June 2016 to August.
Oh my god.
Liar, the incensed audience cries. Please be quiet, they said. And death threats too. But he was 100% right. A week later, the delay is officially announced. Ooh, sorry lads, we need more polish, said Sean in his usual accent. To that, Sean received some death threats too, by the way, although he didn't take them as seriously or go to the police. Yet.
Sometimes what is like? It's such a ridiculous idea, death threatening somebody over delaying a game. Your game not coming out, I will kill you. I'm going to kill you. It's so ridiculous.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
The impatient crowd relaxed a bit and said, fine, we will wait. But we expect a level of polish no man has ever seen.
No Man's Sky has never seen?
Shadow Man here. Have you heard of Rady Shady? My wife died.
Hell yeah, I have.
It's a download now. All that polishing. It's small. Tiny. In fact, I haven't been able to find a smaller team behind a AAA release. All of these expectations are on the shoulders of just 6 people.
Well, I wouldn't call it a AAA release, though.
By the end
I really wouldn't. I still wouldn't.
July. It's just a couple of weeks until the release date. Whatever the state of the game by now, however much it's finished, that's what's going out. The Hello Games team celebrates with this iconic image.
The quintessential soy face.
They're exhausted.
Oh yeah, this is the
game production does to a man.
The genesis of soy.
What's wrong with your face?
Nonetheless, they continue, working on the day 1 patch, and uh-oh. Sean, if your game isn't coming out for another 2 weeks, then why is there a box copy on eBay? That's right, it's a leak. Someone broke the embargo and is selling early access to the highest bidder. And the bids start rolling in.
Yeah, that is true. It was judged as a AAA game at the time, but we just heard how massive the hype was because they really, really overpromised. Really overpromised. If they set realistic expectations for this to be an indie game where you have some freedom to fly around in space and have like a big procedurally generated world, and then even if they delayed it a bunch just to have, you know, some additional polish, because even after the delays, it was a complete mess.
It's $1,300 US. Sold to...
Naturally, people are just going to fall for the hype.
Damien. He gets his hands on it and starts uploading footage to YouTube and Dailymotion.
What? What the frick?
Said Sean and Sony. Damien finished it a lot quicker than expected, but he gave it a decent review.
There are things I don't like, there are things I like, but at the end
how do you even
of the day,
finish it?
Myself, what is this game supposed to be?
How long have I played No Man's Sky for?
Right here, this is what the game is supposed to be.
He noted a few problems, but said he was optimistic that they would be ironed out with the day 1 patch. Sean? It's another leak. Some retailers broke the official release date. Journalists too.
Oh, I have only 18 hours on this? What? No. I got more on PS4. I guess it didn't carry over. Is it gonna say here? Probably not gonna say. Oh, 169 on the PS4 one. But it's not a game that you can finish, I guess, unless you make it to the center of the universe, which takes an insane amount of time to do.
And they started streaming playthroughs of the game. What the fuck? Sony tried to DMCA all these videos, but their aim was terrible.
Round of applause, everyone. We've officially become No Man's censored by Sony.
Our news story from earlier.
Oh yeah, I turned on the Chinese subtitles. How did I even do that?
No Man's Sky Leaks has been hit with a copyright.
Oh, this is for the Chinese audience. I'm branching out
from platform to platform.
Ni hao.
Taking down any video that even talked about the leak or showed the training footage. But it was too late. The footage had people talking more skeptically about the game. Especially because there were no early review copies.
That's bad.
And it was looking like the weight of all these expectations had become too much. And the whole thing was about to give. Oh no. It's August. Everyone's here. We've all bought the game and we're fucking hyped. Here we go, lads.
Here we go. Let's go.
Oh dear lord.
No, we're not going. We are not going.
Hello, Sean. It is me, the auditor of games. I used to work at an astronomy lab. Don't worry about that. It seems like you've made a lot of promises. Promises that you have not kept. Let's go through the checklist. Have you got any large-scale joinable space battles?
No.
Nobody would want that.
Ringed planets?
No. No.
Fine. Well, at least let me play as a trader.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them...
no.
Those sand planets from June look nice. Think I might... Please, Sean, there must be rivers.
No, it's not.
Animals interact with each other in the environment?
No.
Packs of walking sentinels, Sean.
No.
I'm literally crying right now. Should I even ask whether I can play as a space pirate?
Look at your game, Sean. Look at your game. Now, obligatory, I have to show you. I have to show you the DSP review, the KO Gaming review. The king of gaming himself. KO Gaming, No Man's Sky. And how did he call it? Can we find it? Does it actually exist? What? KO Gaming 1? Well, DSP reacts? Hold on. DSP reacts? Well, he did watch the video I'm watching, but I'm sure he made a fucking video review. Come on. This is so annoying, man. And now, if I go on playlists, I'll never be able to find it because we got a trillion playlists. DS Politics highlights? 35 videos? Okay, skip. DSP Reacts stream highlights has this thumbnail. That's the WWE Champions video thumbnail that says I lied on it in a demonic face. Oh my god. Then we got more React fucking trash. Here we got Feasting with the King. Phil reacts. KO Gaming? Can I just look up, maybe I can look up No Man's Sky here. No Man's Sky. More like shitty game. Where is it? Oh, I'm so mad. But that's how he told me I can find stuff on his channel and I can't? I hate you, Phil. Is it on Throwback? Was that Throwback? Oh my god, that was it. DSP Throwback. Because that used to be KO Gaming, of course. Because, of course. Like, it made so much sense. There it is. A buggy, boring, unfinished ripoff.
What's going on, everyone? Phil here, and welcome to KO Gaming.
Welcome to KO Gaming!
A new game comes out that totally revolutionizes the way that games
Yep, is this one.
are played, and creates an entirely new genre of entertainment. No Man's Sky...
Wait, it creates a new genre of entertainment? But it falls into the gaming genre of entertainment.
All of its potential and years of hype behind
this guy just saying buzzwords.
Is not that game. Last week, during the launch...
This got 122,000 views, by the way.
And right here on this YouTube channel, I released my initial impressions and an early review after 8 in-game hours of gameplay, outlining some of the things that I both liked and disliked about the game. A lot of people had a lot to say about that video, and I strongly recommend that you check it out before you...
Okay, thank you. Well, thanks for lagging the video, I guess. Let's get to the problem. If we can get to the problem.
First off, when you first start playing No Man's Sky, your major concern is resource management, inventory management, and being able to upgrade and repair all of your equipment constantly, whether it's your exosuit so you can survive on these alien worlds, whether it's your ships so you can take off and fly and explore between them, or whether it's your multi-tools so that you have better mining capabilities and gathering these resources, or better combat capabilities so you can defend yourself if you happen to get attacked by a creature or a drone. After the first few initial hours of the game, once you figure out how to upgrade your inventory slots and where the best places to get these resources are, the game now kind of opens up and becomes a completely different style experience, which is cool until you start to realize one of the major shortfalls of the game. The promise of No Man's Sky was that it was going to use a unique mathematical formula to procedurally generate
a unique formula
world where you could have
the secret recipe,
kinds of fauna and flora in different combinations, and that there was going to be a near infinite number of planets. There was no way you could ever visit them all, and it was going to be such a unique and interesting experience to be flying around all these different galaxies and finding all kinds of unique stuff. Unfortunately, that initial promise is never lived up to any time during the game in No Man's Sky. In fact, right now, the sampling of video that I'm showing you is not a trick sample where I tried to specifically weed out certain worlds that looked the same. The bottom line is that because of the random number generation aspect of No Man's Sky, you're gonna get barren worlds and or boring worlds with almost nothing to really look at or check out the vast majority of the time that you're investigating all around space. It's ridiculous. Why would you pay for a game where you're walking around almost completely empty planets? It's not exciting. And in the advertisements and the PR and everything that was pushed down our throats about No Man's Sky over the past several years, we were told, oh, such a wide variety of possibilities. You're gonna see this unique creature, you're gonna see this lush world, and none of it ever comes to fruition. Even in the worlds that I landed that had a lot of cool, foliage and stuff like that, it never looked anything like any of the PR or advertisements that were sent out for this game. So the only thing I can think of is that it's incredibly rare that you would ever run into that stuff, but it's far more common that you're gonna be on a barren, boring planet, and that's bullshit. In addition, all of the alien settlements are exactly the same. Now, I don't mean
all of those are valid complaints, by the way.
Will have some slight
this might be one of his more competent reviews, because this game was exactly as he describes it to be.
The same exact layout. The only difference is the doors might look slightly different, and the type of alien, of which there's only 3 kinds of aliens in the entire game, might change depending on which part of the universe or galaxy you're in currently. On the planets, the settlements all are pretty much the same. You go through a door, either it opens or you have to blow it up. You go inside, you interact with a terminal, you get an upgrade or 2 off the wall, maybe you interact with an alien, but it's all the same. They're all these bare bones, randomly generated things that are just...
Yeah, ironically, they fulfilled all of their promises and more. But the DSP will never give it a second chance because he doesn't believe in second chances for video games. But you should give him a second chance every day because he's a fallible human. But all the human organizations making these games, they're infallible. If they can't do it once, they can never do it.
Completely uninteresting after you've seen them a couple dozen times. And it's sad that they couldn't do anything different. They couldn't have a city. They couldn't have a town. No, it's all just completely barren world.
Yeah, eventually you would be able to make your own town and upgrade it. Yes, it was a massive resource hog, and you constantly had to log in to check and add more stuff. It was so annoying to do, but you could do it.
With tiny little huts and buildings here or there. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If you're going through kind of universal exploration, you want to run into other kinds of intelligent life and other civilizations, and outside of these generic space stations and generic little huts and settlements, nothing else ever happens in the game in that regard, and that's pathetic.
That's
but there's also the space battles, right? When space pirates come out and try to attack you and steal your cargo, or they're attacking some kind of a freighter and you can come to the rescue by following a distress call. Yeah, it's kind of cool the first couple of times that you do it, until you realize it's more of a time waster or a nuisance than anything else. Half the time when you're out in space, you're trying to gather different resources so that you can upgrade your hyperdrive and you can warp longer distances, or you're trying to increase your shield. You're trying to do something with resource management, and most of the time you'll be interacted with these pirates when it's the worst possible time. You're running low on resources, you're trying to gather to do an upgrade. Here they come. Of course, it's like clockwork, especially when you really are low on resources to replenish your shields. The pirates show up to piss you the fuck off and steal all of your inventory at the worst possible time. It really is just poorly thought out, and after you do it a couple times, you wish the whole aspect of the game was removed so you could get back to the resource and exploration and just say, fuck it, this is so annoying, I don't want to do it anymore. So really, once you get the handle of all of these constant kinds of things that are always going on, now you have to decide what do you want to do when you're playing No Man's Sky. Do you just want to go out there and explore freeform for yourself? Do you want to try to get closer to the center of the universe, which seems to be this kind of looming waypoint in the distance? Or do you want to follow the path of Atlas? Well, for all intents and purposes, my first 8 hours, I pretty much just explored wherever I wanted to, going through black holes and exploring alien worlds, to the point where I said, man, this is getting repetitive and boring. I think I should probably follow the path of Atlas and see what happens. Now, every time that you visit one of those Atlas interfaces, you're given what's called an Atlas Stone. In addition, you'll receive some upgrades, maybe some warp fuel, and you'll learn a bunch of alien words. So they actually end up being some pretty good destinations.
Anyways, yeah, that's kind of a recap. The Path of Atlas, and here's the most replayed. What is this most replayed part? I'm very curious about what we're gonna find at this point.
And there's nothing here.
Wait, what? There was a dog shit.
And wasted all
PNG.
this time trying
Yeah,
to
look
get
at
through
this.
our open, empty fucking universe just to get to
Oh,
the
he's
center.
so mad.
There's nothing. Trying to get through our open, empty fucking universe just to get to the center. And there's nothing here. It's
I want pictures of Spider-Man.
Ultimate insult to someone who put up with the boring, repetitive gameplay of this game at length just to get there and find out it was all just a waste of your time. Now here's the thing, folks. I fully understand that there are gamers out there who aren't like me and that might like a game like No Man's Sky. They enjoy the fact that the game doesn't hold your hand and give you detailed tutorials on what everything was in the game, so that feeling of exploration and discovery is actually a positive one for you. And there's some people who aren't looking for a huge narrative-based experience or really any meaning to anything that they do in games. They just get hooked on this repetitive gameplay and they just want to play it at length. I get that. But even at face value, as an objective reviewer who has to say, I understand subjectively I may not like what this game is, objectively, this game is a broken mess, as I'm about to tell you about. First of all, I've already mentioned the
as I'm about to tell you about
mechanic of this game, where some people will get loot before others, and sometimes you'll get a great piece of loot that will allow you to do awesome stuff, like maybe walk on a planet you couldn't before because the environment was too harsh, or maybe you'll get a better multi-tool that's really awesome and has more slots, or maybe you'll get that very sought-after upgraded warp, so that instead of just warping from one cluster to another cluster, you can jump 20 to 30 light years at a jump. So I actually heard the highest level one could jump like 1,600
Damn, he was so excited to make this video. You can hear it in his voice.
Guess what?
And it was all
The inventory
unscripted.
system of the game
One
is
take,
bugged.
Phil.
There were
One
times
take,
during my
Brunel.
gameplay of No Man's Sky that I earned a high-level upgrade that I had been seeking for quite a long time, and it completely vanished. It would claim I had it, but then when I went to see if I could install it in my ship, it acted like I had never collected it before.
Okay, this chances are you just didn't know where to find it.
To make matters worse, I ended up getting that item again later on, but again, it wouldn't show up. So actually, in my experience playing No Man's Sky, I could never get to the center of the universe because the game wouldn't allow me to install the biggest, highest level warp engine in my ship because of a game bug. That's fucking insane bullshit. Not only is the game
insane bullshit,
boring and repetitive, barren, but then if I put up with your bullshit grinding gameplay formula and I finally get the big sought after upgrade, you're gonna fucking take it away from me after all that time that I invested in the game? Wow, is that an unfinished buggy piece of crap. In addition to that, the physics of the game are completely screwed up. I've heard horror stories of people whose ships started, not landing properly and ended up being...
What are the comments on this? Because this is like, now we're just complaining about shit. Do we have the look at your game, Sean? Is this in this video? Look at your... No, we don't have it here. So anyways, what do the comments say? So the most successful scam in the whole gaming history. Okay, where your pledges can allow me. Oh, this is
on lootcrate.com, as well as a link to my Patreon where
lootcrate.com. Nice plug. And his Patreon.
Your pledges can allow me.
Oh, your pledges? What?
On lootcrate.com, as well as a link to my Patreon where your pledges can allow me.
Okay, he's gone. They got him.
No.
Factions with different attributes.
You picked the wrong house, fool! Oh!
Fly between star systems manually.
But nobody's actually done it yet.
If I can maneuver like in the trailer, I'll still be happy.
No.
Well, day-night cycles determined by the orbit of the sun.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Land on an asteroid, radio chat, and name your ship, hacking, portals, all that stuff about the elements, Sean.
No.
This is not good, Sean. This is very not good.
And ironically, the only bugs this game doesn't have are the butterflies in the demo.
Buried buildings, aggressive emojis, tractor beam malfunctions, animal husbandry, oil slick world, raining grass, retarded animals doing retarded things. Ship's interiors disappear, first person mode as a gun. That's not how flying works. That's my only means of transportation, leaving the planet. Take off. Really take off. Holes in the map. Holes in my graphics card. Whole lot of nothing from down here. Textures bugging out, animals bugging out. Animals breakdancing. Look at these busy hands. Hello there. And a couple of unrequested ejector seats.
Okay, that's a lot of stuff. I get the picture. No wait, poor graphics rendering. Some can't even start the game. Frame rate issues, constant crashes. Major publications are having trouble playing the game on their machines. Even the best 1080 Ti's are stuttering. Alt-tabbing? That's a guaranteed crash. Desktop notifications? That's a crash. Playing the game? That's a crash. Changing options in the game without restarting? You'll get this. And if you got the pre-order version with the bonus spaceship, you might have a problem. Your special ship already comes with a hyperdrive inside it. Great, right? No, because you have to craft it in order to finish the tutorial missions. And if you haven't finished the tutorial missions, you can't leave the star system. So whoops, until they patch it, you're stranded.
That's why I give my kids
No Man's Sky.
the full.
Ah, my ship's in bits! Okay, thank you.
Just a quick note about how high expectations were for this game, and just how many people bought it on release, myself included. Over 750,000 purchases on Steam at launch. It's the single best-selling game on the PlayStation Store that month. And the large proportion of people who bought it in the hopes of playing with their friends, well, you're in for a surprise. This one is a literal game changer.
Is it even possible to meet up with your friends in No Man's Sky? The answer is absolutely yes, it's possible.
On multiple occasions, Sean said it was definitely in the game.
Will you be able to play with your friends?
Yeah.
Can you run into other people, other players on the game?
Yes.
But then just before the release, Sean posted this cryptic
Oh yeah, this was the biggest scam. The biggest one.
Is not a multiplayer game. Please don't go in looking for that experience.
Oh, what? So there's no multiplayer function. But then the next line contradicts that.
Because the chances of two players ever crossing paths in a universe this big is pretty much zero.
Oh, so it is multiplayer. You just have to overcome this finding each other hurdle.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
Right? No, it's
Oh yeah, people tested it.
Because the box
turned
doesn't
out to be
mention
bullshit.
Just network features. And the collector's edition had its
You're a
online
liar, Sean.
stickered over. So customers are going, which one is it, Sean? Just tell us if it has multiplayer or it doesn't have multiplayer. Sean wouldn't give any answers. But after hundreds of thousands of purchases, people soon took it upon themselves to find out. Despite the claims that it would be so improbable,
Chances of that are incredibly rare, just because of the size of what we're building.
on the very first day, two people noticed they were only 4 star systems from one another, and they met up on the same planet in a live stream. Oh dear.
A black pillow.
Our streams are exactly lined up. If you go look at my stream, we're looking at the exact same area right now if you don't move.
Yep.
I think people would have been, I guess, well, was Sony publishing this? I think they were. They probably wouldn't allow this, but I think people would have been more understanding if the studio came out, especially Sean, and say, hey guys, this has actually been a massive undertaking and we might not deliver on some of the things that we said we would. And then just explain exactly what you can't do. Because then at least you're being transparent. Because you think people weren't going to find out about all this? They weren't going to notice that you're trying to tell me that it's supposed to be a multiplayer game, but then it just blatantly isn't? Like, come on, man. Come on. Just be honest. And then eventually, just like they ended up patching it, they would have patched it anyways.
And they can't see each other.
I'm alone!
That settles it. It's not multiplayer because it's so big. It's not multiplayer because it's just not fucking multiplayer. And this led to quite a revolt. What did Sean have to say about all this?
So amazing, 2 people found each other on the first day.
That has blown my mind.
So why can't we see other players in game?
Wow, so many of you playing.
Yeah, Sean, but why?
Truly amazing. My mind is blown.
So what's the game actually like then?
Is it any good? That is a difficult thing to say.
Well, it certainly is stylish and pretty, and there are a lot of places to explore. But that doesn't mean there's much to find. In fact, the game boils down to a very simple loop. Hold down the trigger to pick up resources, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. Hold down the trigger, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. Hold down the trigger, deal with a full inventory, leave the planet, go to another planet, deal with a full inventory, get an upgrade, leave the planet, go to another planet. That's it. $60, ladies and gentlemen.
Refuel your multi-tool, refuel your life support, refuel a separate part of your multi-tool that shoots bullets instead of the mining beam, refuel your launch thrusters. It's busy work that makes it look like you have something to do. It's not real.
How dare you?
What followed was one of the most dramatic crashes in player numbers in gaming history. Sales in the UK fell by 81% in the second week. Concurrent players on Steam dropped from 212,000 in August to just over 2,000 by September, and fewer than 1,000 by October.
No.
And what followed that?
That's Concord numbers. Well, Concord got a lot less.
Reviewers on YouTube panned the game.
Oh, for fuck's sake! You don't
Hey, it's Pablo.
I had no hype, and I can tell you that, even without that disappointment, this game is hot garbage.
Has anyone coined Sean Mourinho yet?
Numerous times within the first 2 hours of the game, I kept saying, this is it? Fuck this shit.
Reviewers in the media were almost as harsh.
Devastating realization.
And dude, IGN gave it a 6? This one of those where you should have given it like a 4 or 5 or a 3. It was so broken. And it was so just straight up lying about what it offered. And they still gave it a 6 because, like we learned the other day from Alana Pierce, it is more complex and it probably had more than one song. So that makes it a minimum of a 6.
Most of the crafting, combat, and other activities you do on and between those planets ranges between bemusing and outright bad.
The criticism was deafening.
Is YouTube in ban world? You mean like the channel? No,
really funny and
I'm just
creative.
streaming the non-DSP stuff on Twitch.
Of that day, and
unless the channel is gone, in which case it is in ban world.
So people are furious. The game is boring.
Guess
and
I'll
soon
find
people
out.
discover that complaining about the game is actually more fun than playing it.
Wait, I'm now 3.5 hours into the tutorial, pretty much.
So they started complaining about it like they were grinding for an achievement.
This sucks. Fucking Minecraft in space.
Many people made compilations of all
Boogeyman.
the fulfilled promises. One guy on the subreddit compiled a big list of all the missing features. Front page. Got a defense for No Man's Sky? Enjoy your downvote. In fact, the entire No Man's Sky subreddit was in such disarray it had to be locked.
So by the end of the month, Metacritic was like scrolling through a bowl of Cheerios. By October, it was one of the worst rated games on Steam, with an aggregate of mostly negative from more than 70,000 reviews. The outrage at the game was headline news for weeks on dozens of games news publications, and the price on eBay and Amazon and secondhand at GameStop was crashing through the floor. Please, no more. But the beatings had only just begun. The demo planet was data mined and found to be, of course, totally scripted and not randomly generated at all.
I've just got to pick one of these at random. If anything horrible goes wrong, just keep in mind that I've not been here before.
It wasn't some level that we built or something like that, even though I think it looks quite nice in places.
People watching this would wonder why you're showing this area again. Like, what's so special about demoing?
Oh, you found a LARP channel? Yeah, that's a thing that has been happening recently. There's a trend of LARP channels. Now, what is a LARP channel? Is a channel that, well, they are LARPing. They're role-playing as another channel. So there's a LARPiplier who role-plays as Markiplier. There's, I think, a LARP alert or whatever, the drama alert LARP. Yeah, those are a thing that exists. And those people are very committed to the bit. They're very committed. To the point where it really justifies the whole genre existing. It's a very interesting type of video.
Oh, no, it's just a place that looks nice.
No, bad Murray.
I could have ended the demo with some, pre-scripted crazy thing.
You wrote a letter to Sean Murray to tell him he's a rat? That's a W. He probably read it too. You might have actually been the reason why they fixed the whole game. You inspired him.
People see what's going on with the game and feel lied to. This is false advertising, they say, and angry customers start scoping out a lawsuit. On September 28th, the ASA busts through the door and goes, "Yep, too many complaints. We're going to investigate." But then soon after, the ASA cleared them of any legal wrongdoing. Technically, the only thing they're interested in is what's on the back of the box, what's on the store page, and what's on the Steam page. So it's technically not false advertising. But of course, technically not illegal doesn't mean much to an angry audience. October 28th, Hello Games Twitter is hacked. The hacker posts,
"Oh no.
No Man's Sky was a mistake," and is shitting on the game in the replies. Turns out Sean didn't use two-factor authentication on his LinkedIn, and that's how they got in. They also sent discrediting emails to journalists, which they knew would rile people up if published. Some people even show up to their offices to take photos and knock on the door, even at night and on the weekend. They posted empty pictures of the office, so, naturally out of context, this started rumors that Hello Games simply took the money and ran. This in addition to numerous bomb and death threats during that period. Those ones Sean did have to take seriously.
Regular intervention from police and Scotland Yard and things like that.
And while Sony didn't quite throw them under the bus, it was more like a gentle push under a minivan when Sony President Shohei Yoshida admitted that Hello Games did not have a great PR strategy for No Man's Sky.
I mean, they didn't. Objectively, they didn't. And I think Sony as a publisher should have checked them earlier. They should have got them checked before they got wrecked. And be like, yo, is this game actually what you're trying to say it is? Does it have 16 times the planets?
But despite all of this, all of the negative press, they were actually nominated for a couple of awards. But by this point, Murray and the other members of Hello Games were so downtrodden and so sure they weren't going to win that they opted to go elsewhere for dinner.
And the Innovation Award goes to...
And also, like, what we saw from Todd Howard and Phil Spencer, which is something that Sean Murray doesn't have as a very, I guess, new person in the gaming industry, especially as a talking head. He doesn't have media training. So whenever somebody asks him a bunch of questions, he wants to answer in the most optimistic way possible, but he ends up shooting himself in the foot by promising too much. So instead of giving some, like, HR-made... canned response, he could have just been like, hey, you know what? Well, I guess you'll have to wait and see. We're building a very ambitious experience over here. So you don't explicitly say yes or no, because it might be a yes, might be a no.
No Man's Sky. Oh, bro. This lovely trophy going once.
Whoops.
I'm going to set this on the behalf of Hello Games, and congratulations to them. And now I'm going to walk off stage like I planned that whole thing.
By this point, you've got to feel just a little bit sorry for them. And then what followed that was the final straw for many. No particular incident, but a lack of incidents. Silence. Over 3 months of not a damn word from No Man's Sky. Where are they? Where is my refund? Where is Murray? Shouted
They
it.
stole that shit.
The game was
Took
over.
the money and ran. A scammer.
It's dead.
Like the Dashcon scammers.
The year is 2000 AD. Sean has just graduated from university and is headed into the big wide world. He rises up the ranks at a number of studios, eventually working as a technical lead for Black and technical director for Burnout.
Oh, hey, Black, that game was supposed to be
When
big.
Burnout's developer is bought by EA, he is in his late 20s. And he and 3 of his buddies decide to leave and start their own studio, Hello Games. This was a risky venture.
So we'd done this incredibly foolish thing of like quitting our jobs, and then we had to sit down and try and decide what the game was going to be.
Together they create their first title, Joe Danger. They work on this game day and night. In fact, even once they were arrested in their own office because the police thought they were there to rob the place, because who would be working at 11 PM on a Sunday night? But they had to work that hard. Like any startup, it was a huge financial and professional risk. They had no income. They were working in a tiny room above an old tile shop, living off savings. And to keep the project running, Sean even sold his house.
So we made a really tough and probably at the time seemed really foolish decision. It's kind of almost embarrassing for me to talk about. I sold my house and just basically went all in and funded what we were doing, which is not something I would recommend anyone else do.
But by June 8th, 2010, they had done it. The game was good, and they could breathe a sigh of relief because on the very first day it hit the PlayStation Store, they made their money back. 2 years later, Joe Danger 2 was released. It was not the commercial success they had hoped for, and they didn't want to just keep pumping out sequels. That was a trap big players in the industry had fallen into. In his spare time, Sean started working on a prototype for a procedurally generated game. They took another gamble and scrambled to get a trailer out in time to present at VGX 2013. So the project is official now, and the pressure is on. Around this time, Sean is also looking to start a family. Concurrent to all this development, he would go on to have 3 kids, so the weight of responsibility is really piling on. But their hard work will pay off, as they're finally going to have a chance for some R&R.
Man, could have
around
just
Christmas.
like pulled out. Don't get all that stress. Damn, what a big breeder.
Find their homes flooded, their cars submerged, and their plans for Christmas Day very much ruined.
Bad news. Rain. Rain and flooding in the south of England, right around the Hello Games office. They are completely inundated and they return from their holidays to find laptops floating around at waist height. But some good news, they hadn't lost any data. So they pull together. Soldier on. Development continues. So there they are, working in a damp office, and then ding dong. Ooh, who's at the door? It's Danish mathematician Dr. Johan Gerlis. He's seen the game, and he says, "They are using my super formula," in perfect English, and there is a potential for a lawsuit. Sean says they didn't, and he can prove it. So they have a meeting, and the claim is eventually dropped. Lawsuit evaded. So back to work, guys. Ding dong. It's Sky Television. They've seen the game.
You are infringing on our Sky trademark.
They said in perfect text-to-speech. They had succeeded in getting Microsoft to change SkyDrive to OneDrive, and they were about to give gamers No Man's 1.
Come on, dude. Wow, what a bunch of assholes.
Go away. The threat loomed over them for the next 3 years.
Yeah, you can't use Sky, too bad.
Before release.
The word Sky is trademarked. I own it.
It's Sony, with some good news for once. We like your game, kid. We want to feature it front and center and make you a big star. This could mean millions of dollars in additional revenue. They said, yeah. But along with it, a lot of press for this game would need to be done. Being a small team, they didn't have anyone for PR. They had their designers, they had their developers, and that was about it. So it's up to Murray. Sean's in his early 30s now. Not super young, but relatively young, and inexperienced for this type of media circuit. This deal with Sony put extra pressure on them. It set deadlines. It's not that it's Sony's fault, but they're locked in now with much less flexibility. So when May rolls around, and they have no option but to delay, even if they wanted to ask for an extra 6 to 12 months of development, which they really need, it's probably too much to ask for. So they extend from late June to August.
Yeah, that's nothing.
6 weeks.
That is nothing.
You can predict what's going to happen to multiplayer and a bunch of other promised features. So here's how the hype happened. Scope of game. Time. And here's the line which shows the reality of development. Progress is steady and ends in August 2016. Now here is the line of player expectations. It should start out here and follow along the purple, but the overhyping trailer comes out and puts us way up here. In this trailer, it features a bunch of things that Hello Games thinks they're capable of having in the game by 2016. That's the first big mistake. Then it's announced for PlayStation and it costs $60 and there's a collector's edition. Second, even bigger.
$60 for that? It's not even worth $60 nowadays.
And I think this is the main problem, because price tags set expectations. For a $60 game, this was seriously barren and disappointing. Now, if they had put it out for $20 as an indie game or an alpha, no problem.
Yeah, early access.
When they gave it the AAA treatment, people rightfully aligned their expectations
Sony's fault.
with other games in that
Yoshida's fault.
That is the main reason customers' expectations were so skewed. Then Murray went to interviews, exacerbating the problem. Every time he mentioned a feature in the game, even in passing, fans set their expectations to AAA heights for that feature. Now, some people think the interviews are the main problem. In my humble opinion, not so much. Most people never saw these interviews. It's not that rickety 12-foot ladder Sean's standing on that's the main problem. It's the 900-foot building he's perched it on in the first place. So the obvious solution here would be an official statement. Hey guys, look, don't expect a 10 out of 10. Expect more of a 5 out of 10. No, the publisher just sank an enormous investment of marketing and opportunity into the game.
What's wrong with you?
And that would be a huge middle finger to them. The publisher isn't going to make you hype the shit out of your game, but you can't talk it down either. So, it's kind of stuck up there. In some ways, during
Hey, big ups for the follow, sell streams on Kick.
But it's limited.
Can you build a space station?
No.
But let's not gloss over the interviews. Sean is a technical guy.
Well, you still can't build a space station.
He's also the introverted type.
But that's kind of like, knowing what the game is like, that's kind of absurd.
To him.
Is it super nerve-wracking to talk on stage at E3?
Yes. Yes, definitely. I personally find going on stage at E3 like the hardest thing I've ever done. That's something that I would have had in a nightmare before. You know what I mean? It's
literally the hardest thing you've ever done?
Yeah.
Still, he stepped up and took interviews for his game from 2013 to 2016. And the main thing people wanted to hear about were the features.
Can you have more than...
So every planet,
Will there be wormholes?
Right. At what point...
Do you get points or anything?
From these interviews, people took Sean to be a liar, a Peter Molyneux or a chess club member out to sell his game.
Oh yeah, the chess club member.
Cost. But I think
that
the truth
guy.
is more complicated.
But no, I think you need to be kind of, you need to have some sort of a sinister intent if you're going to be like a Todd Howard. But then that's what's kind of going to make you successful in the gaming industry. And Sean, even though he did scam a bunch of people inadvertently, he come across as a nice and relatively normal guy with good intentions. He just wanted to make a really good game that people would like, and he thought he would pull it off, and he thought everybody was going to like it, but the circumstances and being too ambitious kind of shoot him in the foot.
Complicated than that.
And then he ended up delivering, so hey, I really like the game as it is now. If it's the type of game that you're going to like. Because it does involve, like I said, a lot of resource farming, a lot of busy work, a lot of nonsense, a lot of it.
Sean and the team are indie developers working on a new IP. Their project and plans are constantly in flux. They have no idea how large chunks of the game are going to look, especially not a couple of years out from release. And crucially, Sean doesn't understand that something mentioned in 2013, even said in passing, is going to be seen as a promise in the year 2016, even if by then you've decided to cut it from the game. For example, orbiting around the sun.
Day has turned it out because the planet has actually rotated on its axis.
This originally was in the game, but it caused the player too much confusion. It kept being reported as a bug in the beta, as people left the planet and then returned to find everything different. But nonetheless, into the lying compilation it goes. So while they're still essentially formulating the game, the media all want a piece of Sean and to report on features first. Conversely, Sean thinks the reporters might help him to temper down things by emphasizing that Hello Games is an indie studio. But that is not how journalism is done. This is how journalism is done.
Can you customize the look of your character?
Sort of.
Full customization confirmed in No Man's Sky.
Oh yeah, that's how it is. Full customization. You can do anything. You can have customizable genitals, like in Cyberpunk.
That would diffract light at just the right wavelength.
Who the f told you? The press kind of operates downstream from the community because things are click-driven as to what stories you get served and things like that. But a rumor would surface from Reddit straight to the front page.
There's all this hype, and the project has increased in scope dramatically and keeps increasing as the months go by until a point. They are close to the deadline and have to delay, and the reality of what they can achieve in the little time remaining is staring them in the face. They know they're not going to be putting out a finished game. They're worried. There's nothing more they can do. And the fear that they will disappoint the audience is growing on Sean and the team.
I worry about, disappointing people.
Upon release, all of these clips are seen as proof that Sean is a liar. And what doesn't help is his body language. I mean, it's kind of the body language of someone who is lying. And this is why I mentioned he's an introvert. Remember, he's a technical lead. Actually, a really good one. But
which foreskin preset is the best for your build? I seen some guides say that uncircumcised gives you more strength, but circumcised gives you more agility. So it depends. If you want a rogue, better go for circumcised.
Because this is simply how he talks. Here are some innocuous questions, and he answers them honestly.
Lead producers on No Man's Sky?
Yeah, I guess I'm a developer on it. I suppose the creator or something like that.
No, I really like making games. I don't necessarily love
being the boss. Yeah.
You did a good job,
even though you guys are very nice.
Should have got some media training from Sony.
And Jesus Christ, they have him up on stage and in front of cameras and bright lights. And
This is your game, Sean. Look at your game.
On that. Nonetheless,
look who it is.
That context, the
Sean.
clips have him cemented in the community as a liar. So the graph plays out right to release. And that graph, it's actually a track. And that track is what the hype train runs on. So it comes barreling up the hill. Instead of neatly pulling into the station, it comes crashing right through the roof. The disaster unfolds. They are absolutely shit on. So there were Sean and Hello Games, surrounded by the rubble of their former reputation. Punished Sean was at his lowest point, hated by the majority of the gaming community. But they were still alive,
and they had made tens of millions of dollars. They were left with two choices. Take the money, start a new project, and be a pariah, a cautionary tale of the industry and hated by the gaming community forever. Or pick themselves up, get back to work, and with potentially no profit motive, finish the game.
It allowed me to do something that I've always done in difficult times, whether it was crappy bosses that I've dealt with before or crappy situations at school growing up. I got my head down, I sat in front of a computer, and I made games, which is what I enjoy.
They picked number 2. So, here's the plan. The team is assigned to fixing bugs and the most obvious problems. Go. Sean tells the team to stop reading all the overwhelmingly negative feedback on the game, and he reroutes all of it to his personal devices. Emails, forum posts, Google News alerts, player feedback, it's all going directly to him now. Then he starts breaking that down into data sets. People who haven't bought the game, people who have bought it and played it for 100 hours, people who...
Oh wow, that's actually dedication.
He starts compiling those complaints.
You wonder if Todd Howard ever did something like this?
On the people with the most sincere experience.
This game is great.
Then we start
He made a great next-gen experience.
Things that need adding and prioritizing. First thing to fix is that full inventory. Then community mod support. Then a third thing, etc., etc. This is going to take an enormous amount of work to pull off, and they're not going to make the same mistake twice. So they would need to sharply adjust their PR strategy. Anything they said right now, an admission of guilt,
I've made a severe,
would be met with criticism. Denial, it's not that bad, would be met with criticism. Corporate speak, well, we endeavored to make the best game we could and we are proud of what we have, would be met with criticism. Half of the problems have been caused by speaking too much. So they were going to do a complete 180. Instead of adding more fuel to the fire, instead of accidentally promising fixes that might also not be delivered, they wouldn't speak to the press again.
Female traits you're talking about, I'd say that's a generalization, but you...
They were going to speak to the community directly from now on. So they told the audience they were working on it and went completely silent.
Hell yeah, that's how you do it.
One day passed.
Set no expectations, and everybody's going to be happy because they didn't expect to be happy.
Have you heard from Hello Games? They just had this disastrous release. Nope, haven't seen them. I hope they're working on the game. 2 weeks. Dude, are you working on this thing? Just ignore them, just work. 3 weeks. Okay, what the fuck is going on?
WTF, it's locked.
A month. They took the fucking money and ran, didn't they? Don't say anything, it's not going to help. 2 months. 3 months. By now, most people were convinced that the game was abandoned. They had made their money. It's all over. Then, after over 100 days of absolute silence, a tweet. Foundation. The first big patch. It is me, Sean. No, go away, Sean. I am mad at you. It has been too long. But I bring you gifts. His accent sucks. It brought base building, new game modes, farming, camps, and freighters, as well as a lot of bug fixes. You will have to try harder than that, Sean, to win my love.
Yeah, the problem with many of those updates is they are very expansive and robust and complex, but they don't really explain anything or how anything works or how you can even find the content in the game. Like the freighters, it is such a pain in the ass to figure out how they work and what you can do in them. It's also a big resource sink, but that's normal. Everything in that game is a big resource sink.
It still fell well shy of the promise.
That's why it feels good to make a farm. You can farm a bunch of oxygen, carbon.
Returned to his team and got back to work. A few more months went by, and then another tweet. Pathfinder.
What do we have here?
What the fuck? Oh, it's usual. I bring you online base sharing, own multiple starships, starship specialization, multi-tool specialization and classes, permadeath modes, vehicles you can drive around in, and create racetracks for them too with time trials. Look at this.
Okay, that's pretty good, but I'm still mad, and there's still a ton promised that isn't in the game yet.
So Sean went away once more. A few more months went by. Knock, knock.
Oh, it's you, Sean. What is it now?
I bring you an overhaul to the storyline. New worlds, crashed freighters, space combat, terrain editing, portals, procedural mission system, interstellar trading, and joint exploration. By now, people were really starting to warm to No Man's Sky again, and to Hello Games.
The game has...
And this is what, less than a year after launch? This article was written August 31st, 2017.
Now, people were really starting to warm to No Man's Sky again.
So they were pretty quick on it.
The game has, in many ways, exceeded what was promised.
It's a substantially better game now.
No Man's Sky is back, baby!
People saw this was an honest effort to fix the game, and the number of employees working on it was growing, from a studio of 15 to 25. Sean Murray and Hello Games social media also started becoming more active and engaging with the audience. The subreddit was flourishing once more. The price of the game secondhand on Amazon, eBay, and GameStop was going up. Then a few more months went by. Next, a really big patch.
Oh my god. Holy shit! I just got goosebumps. Oh.
To be super clear, No Man's Sky is not fuck that. Here's the full and proper multiplayer experience. Ringed planets, third-person mode, character customization, a galactic atlas on an external website for the community, vast overhauls to base building and crafting and resources, and it also brought the game to Xbox. In fact, with the release of Next in July 2018, No Man's Sky was the
that was
top-selling console.
Probably the biggest update they've ever had. The next one was like
Steam's
Cyberpunk 2.0.
It reached nearly 100,000 concurrent players. It brought another $24 million across all platforms. Their Steam rating went from mixed to very positive. People were getting back on board in a big way, but they weren't done yet. Better creatures, weird underwater shit, discoveries in bases and environments and equipment, and it keeps going. New biomes, more diversity, archaeology, more things to discover. By now, Sean and the gaming inspector, personification of the gaming community, had literally patched things up and were making out on the couch. Which was when he released his biggest patch to date of this video.
Oh my god, dude!
Free VR support, not a whole other game you have to pay for, like some titles. Overhauls to NPCs, tech trees, base building, streamlined multiplayer, ride animals around. All sorts of stuff that was never promised in the first place. And they're still adding more stuff.
Someone at Valve, who was a fan of the game, said to me, what you do now is more important than what you say. There's only one thing that's credible, and that's your actions.
In fact, I was so slow to get this video out that they put out another patch the other day, with ship salvaging, ship upgrading, more advanced terrain editing, first-person exocrafts, improved VR, improved base building and inventory management, and quality of life stuff. It goes on. Is it perfect? Technically, there are still things on this spreadsheet.
No, it's not perfect.
But come on now, we're starting to nitpick.
But like the original concept has been completed. Like they delivered on everything. And if you thought you were going to like that game, then they gave you what they advertised.
Them to relationships with other
But there's still like the narrative is not good. There's no real like role-playing possibilities, I guess. The interactions with other aliens or whatever, that's pretty bare bones.
Games companies. They could have gone the route of Fallout 76. Paywall mods with Fallout First, charging a monthly fee, a downward spiral more and more into pay-to-win scraps released without QA testing. But instead, they never added pay-to-win. They never added microtransactions or paid.
Yeah, there's no microtransactions.
They never made VR as a second game. They didn't give up on the game or scale their resources back to do it. They didn't come out and call all gamers entitled. They didn't add loot boxes. They didn't start work on the next big project or sequel. They didn't do much of anything except get back to work. And just like that, the game once panned by critics now had awards rolling in.
Your developed star 2019, No Man's Sky, Sean Murray.
No Man's Sky next.
No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky's next. No Man's Sky.
And to cap it all off, the subreddit No Man's Sky the game even got together and pooled money for a GoFundMe to have a billboard installed near the Hello Games offices.
What? Come on. They could probably...
A harrowing moment.
They didn't need that.
They took a huge risk to
But it's a
start
nice positive thing, I guess.
They clawed their way up to create one of the most notable games of the console
And of course the
generation.
subreddit is going to do that.
Pretty much everyone with the release, and took one of the biggest online beatings in video game history for it.
As a family, post-release, we faced some really difficult challenges. Everything that you can imagine from like the worst of the internet, we hit.
But then over the course of the next 3 years, completely turned it around and came out the other side with a win.
Yes,
It's the
wholesome.
underdog story. And after doing all
We
of
love
this
wholesome.
research, I couldn't help but come to the conclusion that they were the good guys. So what is the future for Hello Games? In 2017, they announced Hello Labs, a support program focused on original titles and games using procedural generation. Two of the team also branched off to work on a small title called The Last Campfire. But for the foreseeable future, they're just working on No Man's Sky.
Hell yeah. I think one of the last updates was something like a Pokemon update where you can tame aliens and then go to an arena and have them fight, which is cool because at this point, like, what more can you do? They added so much stuff. It's a very expansive sandbox game.
Alright, I didn't want to finish
Explosions!
the video on like a big sappy note. So, this is the end of the story, but there's still another few minutes.
Yeah, I don't like the 2.0 versions of games being normalized too, but it could have been worse. They could have done nothing like that, like Anthem. Because Anthem, obviously, everybody... It essentially went through the same treatment. Everyone complained, articles were written all over the board, player counts completely tanked, no one liked the game, and they did nothing about it. They promised, okay, we're going to fix it. Anthem 2.0 is coming. We got a roadmap. Look at this roadmap. Look at this. Look at this. We're going to put in so many things. And then they did nothing. They did none of that. So.
Don't leave. It's not an ad. Okay, in 2015, when the hype was at its peak.
Or you can go the Concord route where the whole idea is so rotten to its core that even though you got a functional game that is supposed to be what you advertise, no one cares. And the market does not want it at all, and it's completely unnecessary for it to exist, and then it just dies. Because that's just a waste of resources. You're just throwing money out the window for no reason.
Sean Murray erotic fan fiction. And, naturally, I assumed that you lot would want to see it. So, here it is. My evening interview at Hello Games.
Awesome. Let's go.
I arrived at the Hello Games office in the...
We're gonna get sexy here for the end of this stream.
Taking a deep breath, I nervously pressed the doorbell. The door opened, and Sean poked his expressive face out to greet me. "Hey you," he exclaimed in his adorable British-Australian accent. "I'm so happy you could make it and spend the evening with us." "I was so happy when I heard you agreed to let me come in for an interview," I said. "Oh yeah, the interview. I forgot," he replied with his usual brilliant humor. I laughed. "You're so funny, Sean. Let me show you my office." "I have a surprise for you," Sean said. He led me to the room where we sat down on a soft vinyl couch. "So let me show you the surprise," he said, softly. "It's the newest build of the game. We just added some new features." He booted up the game on a PS4 in his office. I stared at his face. I like your beard. It's sexy," I pretended to say to him in my head to myself. I had a secret crush on him. There was something about his humble demeanor and feeble yet handsome bone structure that was so alluring. "So here's the game," he said eagerly. It opened on an alien world just calling out to be explored. I began to sweat. Here it finally was, in front of me in all of its glory, and it was being played by Sean in front of me in all of his glory. I nervously spoke. "Could I try playing?" I said. "Oh, I suppose, of course," he said, chuckling. But another few minutes passed without him handing me the controls. "Sean," I said more confidently. I put my hands on his hands as he gripped the controller. He looked me straight in the eyes. I stared deep into his beautiful, glistening eyes, utterly transfixed. "Sure," he said. He let go of the PlayStation controller, still sweaty from his firm grip. "But I have another surprise to show you." He stood up.
Redacted.
He muttered. "Yes, please," I said, blushing as red as
That's sexual harassment.
Warrior 5. He grabbed my shoulders, guiding me confidently towards the coffee table, like he confidently guides the Hello Games team towards the game's release. The one true Sean Murray, not that baby-faced loser asshole poser from NCIS. Made sweet, sweet love to me. I wasn't sure what I was more excited about. Finally.
Redacted.
Sean Murray, all finally playing No Man's Sky. After exploring the planet's surface, I entered my spaceship and took off. Just as I left the atmosphere and burst into the breathtaking expanse of space.
Redacted.
It was an out-of-world experience.
Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna be on YouTube whenever DSP crashes out and cries about stuff, because that's what I like over there. I'm gonna be here maybe on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or all the days. And yeah, that's it. Thanks everybody. We watched some Yongye today to learn the latest gaming news. We watched some Piss Pablo to get very pissed, and Loki Hispanic. We watched some Internet Historian to catch up on the history of the internet. And I played some Grand Theft Auto 5, because Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to come out one day, and I need to know all the context. So have a good one. I'll see you guys next time on the Angry Joe Show. Yong out.